You are settling into a large plush seat on a long-distance train traveling slowly across the vast American landscape, and the air inside the cabin is cool and still and smells faintly of old books and clean linen. Outside the large rectangular window, the sky is a soft, overcast gray that promises a gentle rain, and the light is dim and soothing to your tired eyes. The train begins to move forward with a barely perceptible lurch, and then settles into a slow, rhythmic motion that feels like a gentle rocking cradle. Click-clack, click-clack goes the sound of the steel wheels on steel tracks, a sound that is steady and constant and hypnotic. You look out the window and see the platform sliding away slowly, followed by the brick walls of the station, and then the open air of the rail yard where other trains sit, sleeping on parallel tracks. The city buildings are passing by in a blur of gray and brown concrete, but soon they give way to the suburbs where houses with small backyards line the tracks. You see a white fence and a green lawn, and a child swing set that is not moving, and a dog sleeping on a porch, and then another white fence, and another green lawn, and it all blends together into a peaceful ribbon of domestic quiet. The train picks up a little speed, but not too much, just enough to create a steady hum that vibrates gently through the floor and up into your legs, making them feel heavy and relaxed. The suburbs slowly fade away and are replaced by the open country of the Midwest, where the fields stretch out to the horizon, flat and green and endless. You see rows of corn that go on for miles and miles, perfectly straight lines of green stalks that blur together as you pass them by. There's a red bar in the distance, standing alone in the middle of a field with a gray silo next to it, and it looks lonely but peaceful, like a painting that has not changed in 50 years. The sky above is a blanket of soft clouds with no breaks and no sun, just a diffuse light that casts no shadows and makes everything look soft and dreamlike. You lean your head back against a headrest, which is soft and supports your neck perfectly, and you let your hands rest loosely in your lap, where your fingers curl naturally, and you feel the tension leaving your shoulders and draining down your arms and out of your fingertips. The sound of the train is a white noise that blocks out all other thoughts. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a heartbeat of the journey, a rhythm that does not judge and does not ask anything of you except to sit and watch the world go by. You see a line of telephone poles running parallel to the tracks, and the wires dip and rise between them like a wave. You watch one pole pass, and then another, counting them, without numbers, just acknowledging their presence as they mark the miles. A small town appears in the distance with a water tower painted with the name of the town, but you are too relaxed to read it, and it doesn't matter what the name is because it is just a quiet place where people are living their quiet lives. You see a crossing gate with flashing red lights and a car waiting patiently for the train to pass, and inside the car you can see the silhouette of the driver, who is just waiting and watching just like you. The town passes quickly, and you are back in the open fields where the green is turned to a golden brown of wheat that waves gently in the wind created by the passing train. It begins to rain lightly outside. You see the first few drops hit the glass window. They are small and clear, and they stick to the glass for a moment before the wind pushes them into long streaks that run horizontally across your view. The sound of the rain is audible even over the sound of the wheels, a soft tapping sound like fingers drumming on a table. The rain gets a little heavier, and the world outside becomes a blur of water and green and gray. The rhythm of the rain mixes with the rhythm of the train and creates a symphony of sleep. You feel safe inside this metal shell protected from the rain and the wind and the world. The temperature in the car is perfect, not too hot and not too cold, just a comfortable warmth that makes you want to close your eyes. but you keep them open just a little longer to watch the raindrops race each other across the glass. You see a small creek winding through the fields with brown water flowing slowly between grassy banks, and a cluster of trees with leaves that are turning yellow and orange, signaling the arrival of autumn. The colors are muted by the rain and the gray light, making them look like an old photograph. The train slows down slightly as it goes around a long, gentle curve, and you feel the weight of your body shift slightly in the seat, a comforting sensation of gravity holding you in place. You are not going anywhere in particular. You are just moving, and that is enough. The conductor walks by in the aisle with a slow, steady gait checking tickets, but he does not disturb you. He just nods and moves on his footsteps, swallowed by the sound of the train. The door at the end of the car opens and closes with a soft hush, letting in a burst of slightly louder track noise before cutting it off again. You take a deep breath and smell the coffee that someone is drinking a few rows ahead, a warm roasted smell that feels cozy and familiar. You look back out the window and the scenery has changed slightly to rolling hills that rise and fall gently like the chest of a sleeping giant. The grass on the hills is long and sways in the wind, and you can see a few cows grazing peacefully near a fence, ignoring the rain and the train. They are moving slowly, eating slowly, existing slowly. You feel a kinship with them, a shared understanding that there is no need to rush. The light outside is beginning to fade as the afternoon wears on, turning the gray sky into a deeper shade of charcoal. The interior lights of the train car flicker on, casting a warm yellow glow on the seats and the floor. The reflection of the inside of the car appears in the window, ghosting over the landscape outside. So you see both the passing fields and a reflection of your own relaxed face at the same time. You look tired, but peaceful, your eyes half closed, your mouth relaxed. The train crosses a long steel bridge over a wide river, and the sound of the wheels changes to a deeper hollow rumble that resonates in your chest. You look down at the water far below, which is dark and rippled by the rain, and you see a small boat tied to a dock bobbing gently in the current. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on solid ground, moving through a forest of pine trees. The trees are tall and dark and stand close together, creating a wall of green and black that rushes by. The smell of pine seems to seep through the window, and your imagination fresh and clean and sharp. The rhythm continues click-clack steady and reliable. Your eyelids are getting heavier now. It is becoming harder to keep them open. The motion of the train is rocking you back, and forth, a tiny movement that is incredibly soothing. You feel like a child being rocked to sleep. The rain is streaking the window harder, now blurring the trees into dark shapes that slide past your vision. You let your eyes close for a moment and listen to the sounds. The hum of the air conditioner, the creak of the leather seat, the low rumble of the engine, the rhythmic clatter of the tracks. It is a blanket of sound that wraps you up. You open your eyes again briefly and see that night has fully fallen. The world outside is black now, save for the occasional light from a farmhouse in the distance. Those distant lights are like stars on the ground, tiny pinpricks of warmth in the vast darkness. You imagine the people inside those houses, sitting down at dinner, or reading a book, or watching the rain fall just as you are watching it. You are connected to them by this moment of quiet. The train is a capsule of light, moving through the void of the night. You feel completely isolated in the best possible way. No one can reach you here. No phone calls, no emails, no responsibilities. You are just a passenger. Your job is simply to sit and breathe and rest. You shift your legs, stretching them out into the empty space in front of you, and feel the muscles release. You let your head roll to the side, resting it against the cool glass of the window. For a second, feeling the vibration of the train directly against your skin before moving back to the soft velvet of the headrest. The coolness was refreshing, but the warmth is better. You are sinking deeper into the seat. It feels like the seat is molding itself to your shape, supporting every inch of your back and legs. You are floating on a cushion of air and steel. The train whistle blows in the distance, a long, mournful sound that drifts back to you on the wind. Ho, ho. It is a lonely sound, but also a comforting one, a signal that the train is awake and watching out for you, so you don't have to. You close your eyes again, and this time you do not open them. You watch the patterns of light and dark dancing on the back of your eyelids. You feel the gentle sway of the car as it navigates the tracks. You are drifting. You are drifting across the plains, across the rivers, across the night. The click-clack of the wheels slows down in your mind, becoming a slow heartbeat. Click-clack, click-clack. It is the sound of time slowing down. It is the sound of peace. You are safe. You are warm. You are moving towards a destination of deep sleep. The train travels on to the night, through the rain, through the quiet, and you travel with it deeper and deeper into the land of dreams where the fields are always green and the rhythm never stops, and the sleep is endless and deep and perfect. You remain in this state of deep relaxation as the train continues its journey through the obsidian darkness of the night, and the rhythm of the steel wheels on the steel tracks remains your constant companion, a steady lullaby that never falters. The rain outside has stopped now, and the clouds are breaking apart, revealing a vast tapestry of stars that twinkle coldly in the high atmosphere above the sleeping earth. The train begins to climb, now moving upward on a gentle gradient toward the mountains that loom unseen in the distance, and you can feel the engine working just a little harder, a deep vibrating hum that resonates through the floorboards and into the soles of your feet, grounding you even further into your seat. The air in the cabin seems to get a little fresher, a little thinner, as the altitude increases, and it smells like crisp mountain air even through the sealed windows. You look out into the blackness and seeing nothing but your own reflection ghosting against the glass, a peaceful face that looks back at you with heavy lids and a calm expression. Suddenly the train enters a tunnel, and the world goes pitch black for a moment before the interior lights reflect brightly against the rushing stone walls outside. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh goes the sound of the air being pushed through the narrow space, a white noise that wraps around you like a cocoon. The sound is louder here in the tunnel, but it is a muffled loudness of pressure that feels like a heavy blanket being tucked around your ears. You traverse the tunnel for what seems like minutes, but time has no meaning here. And then just as suddenly as it began, the tunnel ends and you burst back out into the open night. But the landscape has changed. The ground is no longer dark earth, but is now covered in a fresh blanket of white snow that glows with a faint blue luminescence under the light of the moon. The trees are pine trees, now tall and pointed, and their branches are heavy with snow, bowing down in silent reverence to the winter night. The train moves silently through this winter wonderland, the snow dampening the sound of the wheels, so that it becomes a soft hush, hush, hush instead of a clack, clack, clack. It is the sound of velvet sliding over velvet. You feel a profound sense of warmth inside your coat, inside your skin, a contrast of the frozen world just inches away on the other side of the glass. You watch the snowflakes falling gently past the windows, spiraling down in the wind, created by the train's passage like tiny dancers in a silent ballet. They are hypnotic, and endless millions of unique flakes falling to join the blanket on the ground. You imagine what would be like to be out there standing in the snow in the total silence of the mountains, but you are glad to be in here safe and warm and moving. The train slows down as it navigates a winding pass, and you feel the gentle tug of centrifugal force pushing you softly into the side of your armchair, a feeling of being held and supported by the momentum of the journey. You pass a small station in the mountains, a tiny wooden building with a peaked roof covered in snow and a single yellow light burning on the porch, but no one is there. It is a ghost station, a way station for dreams, standing silent in the wilderness. You wonder who lights the lamp and who watches the tracks, but the thought drifts away as quickly as the station itself, disappearing behind a curve of trees. The train levels out now, reaching a high plateau where the snow stretches out flat and wide like a sea of white frozen foam. The moon is high and full now, a bright silver coin that illuminates the snow with a daylight brightness, casting long blue shadows behind every tree and fence post. It is a monochromatic world of silver and blue and black, a world of pure peace where nothing moves except you. You shift your weight in the seat, and the fabric rustles, softly a sound that seems loud in the quiet car. You look around and see that the other passengers are all asleep, slumped in their seats with blankets pulled up to their chins, their chests rising and falling in unison. You are part of this collective sleep, this group of travelers united by the night and the motion. The conductor walks through again, his steps slow and deliberate, his shadow stretching long down the aisle. But he says nothing and checks nothing, simply walking to ensure the peace is undisturbed. You turn your attention back to the window where the moon is racing the train, moving parallel to you through the trees, keeping pace with your journey. You feel a heaviness in your legs, a pleasant weight that anchors you to the earth. Your hands are warm and still resting on your lap. Your breathing is slow and deep, matching the rhythm of the train. In and out, in and out. You are sinking deeper into the feeling of doing nothing. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to see. This moment is complete. The train crosses a trestle bridge over a deep ravine, and for a moment you are flying above the treetops, looking down into a chasm of shadow and snow before returning to the solid ground. The sound of the wheels changes pitch again, deeper and more resonant as the ground beneath changes from rock to earth. You are descending now, leaving the high mountains behind and rolling down towards the valleys. The snow begins to thin out, turning into patches of white on brown earth, and then disappearing altogether as you return to the rain-soaked lowlands. The sound of the rain returns, tapping gently against the window, a familiar friend welcoming you back. Tap, tap, tap. It washes away the memory of the snow, leaving only the comfort of the dark, wet night. You pass a freight train going the other way on the adjacent track. It is a long line of boxcars that flashes by with a rhythmic thrumming sound, creating a strobe effect of shadow and light that flickers across your closed eyelids. You do not open your eyes to watch it. You just listen to the power of the engines and the rattle of the cars as they pass, heading toward the mountains you just left. And then it is gone, leaving silence in its wake, a silence that feels deeper than before. The train continues on its endless path, cutting a tunnel of light through the darkness. You feel a wave of drowsiness wash over you, starting at the top of your head and flowing down your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your spine. It is a warm liquid feeling that relaxes every muscle it touches. Your jaw unhinges. Slightly your tongue relaxes in your mouth, your forehead smooths out. You are surrendering to the sleep that has been waiting for you. You are a passenger on the ship of the night, sailing through an ocean of land. The miles tick by unnoticed. The towns tick by unnoticed. You are only aware of the motion And the sound, the gentle rocking, the steady hum, the feeling of being carried. The train slows down to pass through a large rail yard where dozens of tracks converge and diverge like a river delta. You feel the train sway side to side as it switches tracks to steel wheels, singing a high-pitched song as they grind against the rails. You see the lights of the yard towers high above floodlights that cast a stark artificial daylight on the gravel and the ties. Men in orange vests wave lanterns and signal to the engineer, but they are like characters in a silent movie acting out a play that you are watching from a great distance. Then the yard is behind you, and you are back in the open country, back in the dark. A deep sense of gratitude fills you, gratitude for this seat, for this train, for this time, to just be. You realize that you have been holding on to tension for a long time, and now you are finally letting it go. You are letting it drop onto the floor of the train to be left behind as you move forward. You are lighter now. You are softer now. You are drifting on the edge of consciousness where dreams and reality mix together. The sound of the train becomes the sound of your own heartbeat. The darkness outside becomes the darkness behind your eyes. You are safe. You are warm. You are traveling toward the dawn, but the dawn is still far away, and for now, there's only the night. The beautiful, endless, restful night. The train moves forward into the deep hours of the night, where time seems to stretch and warp, becoming a loop of comfort and stasis. You are traveling through a dense forest now where the trees press close to the tracks, their branches reaching out like fingers trying to touch the passing metal skin of the train, but never quite succeeding. The darkness here is absolute, a heavy velvet black that swallows the beam of the train's headlight and reveals nothing of the world beyond the first row of trunks. You feel a sense of enclosure, a cozy feeling of being tucked away in a secret moving room that is invisible to the rest of the world. The sound of the wheels changes again as the acoustics of the forest reflect the noise back at the train, creating a softer, more muffled rhythm that sounds like a heartbeat wrapped in cotton. Thump, 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 thump. It is a biological sound, a living sound that matches the slow, steady pulse of your own resting heart. You shift slightly in your seat, finding a cool spot on the pillow, and the movement feels like a major event in a world where nothing happens. Your legs are heavy, and warm your feet are resting comfortably on the footrest, and your hands are limp and relaxed in your lap. You are barely breathing now, just shallow, slow breaths that sip the air rather than gulping it. You are in a state of hibernation, a deep conservation of energy that restores your mind and body. The train curves gently to the left, following the contours of an unseen river, and you feel the subtle shift in gravity that pulls you deeper into the cushions of your seat. It is a gentle hug from the laws of physics. You look out the window and see the river reflecting the faint starlight, a ribbon of dark oil moving silently alongside you. It is a companion on your journey, a fellow traveler moving towards the sea. You pass a small cabin by the riverbank, its windows dark, its chimney cold, and you imagine people inside asleep in their beds, dreaming of rivers and trains. You are the guardian of their sleep, the silent watcher passing in the night. The forest begins to thin out, giving way to rolling farmland, where the fences are straight lines of silver in the moonlight, and the barns are dark shapes against the darker sky. You see a herd of horses standing in a field, their heads bowed in sleep, their tails swishing slowly against the flies that are not there in the cool night air. They do not look up as the train passes. They are used to the sound. They know it is just a night train passing through their world. You feel at peace knowing that nature is resting all around you. The train slows slightly as it approaches a small town, a cluster of houses, and streetlights that glows orange in the distance. You pass through the center of the town where the traffic lights are blinking yellow for caution, and the streets are empty of cars. You see a gas station with its lights on, but no attendant diner with a closed sign in the window, a post office with the flag lowered. It is a sleeping town, a stage set waiting for the actors to wake up in the morning. But you are not part of that play, you are just an audience of one watching from your moving theater. The town fades behind you, and you are back in the open plains where the sky is huge and the stars are bright. The rhythm of the train picks up again, returning to its steady cruising speed. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a mantra, a chant that clears your mind of all thoughts. There is only the sound. There is only the motion. There is only the night. You close your eyes and listen to the symphony of the rails. You can hear the squeak of the springs, the groan of the metal, the rush of the wind. It is a complex machine working perfectly to carry you to your destination of sleep. You imagine the engineer in the front of the train watching the tracks, a head his hand on the throttle, guiding you safely through the darkness. You trust him. You trust the train. You trust the journey. You let go of the last bit of tension in your neck, allowing your head to sink fully into the pillow. You are floating. You are weightless. You are drifting on a sea of sound. The train crosses a long, flat bridge over a marshland where the reeds whisper in the wind, and the water is stagnant and black. The sound of the wheels becomes a hollow roar, a deep vibration that shakes the floor gently. You feel the vibration in your bones, a massage from the inside out. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on solid ground. The landscape is repetitive and boring, and that is exactly what you need. Mile after mile of the same grass, the same fences, the same telephone poles. It is a visual lullaby. You do not need to pay attention. You do not need to focus. You can just let your eyes glaze over, let them close, let them rest. The air conditioner hums a low, steady note, a white noise that fills the gaps between the click-clacks. It is cool and dry and smells of nothing, which is the best smell of all. You are in a bubble of sterility and safety. You are disconnected from the chaos of the world. Here in this seat, there are no deadlines, no demands, no expectations. There's only the next mile and the mile after that. You feel a deep heaviness in your eyelids. They are sealed shut, now glued down by the weight of sleep. You cannot open them if you tried, and you do not want to try. You are content to watch the movies play on the back of your eyelids, abstract shapes of color and light that shift and morph in time with the music of the train. You see swirls of blue and purple pulses of soft orange fading into black. You're entering the dream state, the hypnagogic state, where reality softens and bends. The sound of the train begins to sound like a voice, a low murmuring voice that is telling you a story without words. It is telling you that everything is all right. It is telling you to sleep. You feel your body relaxing, even more sinking deeper into the upholstery, until you feel like you are one with the seat, one with the train. You are a part of the mechanism, a passenger part, moving smoothly through night. The train begins to climb again, gently rising up a long incline toward a high plateau. The engine hums a deeper note, a baritone vibration that soothes your chest. You feel the change and angle the slight tilt backwards that cradles you even more securely. You are being lifted up into the sky, lifted up into sleep. The air outside is getting colder. You can feel it radiating off the glass, a refreshing chill that stays on the other side of the window. You are warm inside your cocoon. You pull your imaginary blanket tighter around your shoulders, enjoying the contrast. You are safe. You are warm. You are sleeping. The train levels off at the top of the plateau, and the speed increases. The rhythm becomes faster, a rapid flutter of clicks and clacks that merges into a continuous drone. It is the sound of pure speed, pure motion. You are flying across the surface of the earth. You are a comet streak across the dark. You are a shadow passing in the night. You drift deeper and deeper down and down into the velvet darkness of deep sleep, where there are no dreams, only peace, only silence, only rest. The train continues its journey, descending slowly from the high plateau and entering the vast open expanse of the high desert, where the air is dry and thin, and the stars hang low and bright in the obsidian sky. The landscape outside has changed from the dense forests and green fields to a world of shadow and stone, where giant rock formations rise up from the earth like silent sentinels guarding the night. You see the silhouettes of flat-topped mesas in the distance, their edges sharp and defined against the starlight, and they look like ancient castles built by giants sleeping under the cover of darkness. The ground near the tracks is covered in sagebrush and scrub oak, small dark shapes that rush by in a blur of gray and black. The sound of the train is crisper here, clearer, as the sound waves bounce off the hard, dry earth and echo back to you. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a sharp, rhythmic sound that cuts through the silence of the desert. You feel a sense of immense space opening up around you, a feeling that the world is huge and wide and empty. There are no lights here, no houses, no towns, just the endless miles of wilderness and the steel rails guiding you through it. You feel incredibly safe inside your moving metal shell, protected from the vastness outside. The train curves around a massive sandstone butte, and for a moment the moon disappears behind the rock, plunging the cabin into a deeper darkness before re-emerging on the other side brighter than before. You watch the shadow of the train racing alongside you on the desert floor, a long dark snake, slithering over the rocks and brush. It is a mesmerizing sight, a shadow play performed just for you. Your breathing is slowed down to a rhythm that matches the land, slow and deep and dry. You feel the dryness of the desert air even inside the climate-controlled car crispness that clears your sinuses and makes it easier to breathe. You shift your head on the pillow, finding a new spot of coolness, and the fabric feels soft against your cheek. Your eyes are closed now, or mostly closed, just slivers of vision taking the movement and the light. You are drifting in that space between wakefulness and sleep, where thoughts become dreams and dreams become reality. You imagine you are floating above the train, looking down at it as it cuts a path of light through the dark desert. You see the headlight beaming out ahead, illuminating the tracks and the rabbits that scatter into the brush. You see the red taillights fading into the distance behind you, leaving a trail of red in the black. You float back down into your body, into the heavy warmth of the seat. The train crosses a dry riverbed, awash of sand and stones, where water only flows once a year, but tonight it is dry and silent. The hollow rumble of the bridge is brief, a momentary change in the soundtrack before the steady click-clack returns. You pass a lonely highway that runs parallel to the tracks for a few miles. It is empty of cars, just a strip of gray asphalt with yellow lines painted down the middle, stretching out to the horizon. You wonder where it goes and who travels it, but you do not really care because you are on the train, and the train is going exactly where it needs to go. A single pair of headlights appears in the distance on the highway, a car moving in the opposite direction. You watch it approach a tiny point of light that grows larger and brighter until it flashes past you in a second and then fades away into red taillights behind you. It was a brief encounter, two travelers passing in the vast night, each in their own bubble of light and motion. The isolation feels good. It feels quiet. The train begins a long, straight section of track, where there are no curves, no bumps, just miles of perfectly straight steel. The ride becomes incredibly smooth, almost like gliding on ice. The vibration in the floor diminishes to a barely perceptible hum. You feel like you are hovering. You feel like you are flying. The rhythmic clicking slows down in your mind, stretching out into long pauses of silence. Click, clack, click, clack. The silence between the sounds is where the sleep lives. You invite the silence in. You let it fill your mind. You let it fill your chest. You are heavy. You are stone. You are the desert. A sense of timelessness washes over you. It could be midnight. It could be 3 a.m. It does not matter. The sun is hours away. The night is yours. You feel a deep relaxation in your stomach, a releasing of all the knots and tension you have carried for days. It all dissolves in the rhythm of the train. The conductor is sitting at the back of the car, now reading a book under a small reading light. You can't see him, but you know he is their silent guardian. You feel the presence of the other passengers around you, a collective breathing organism of rest. You are all safe. You are all moving. You are all sleeping. The train passes a signal tower, a tall metal structure with lights that change from green to red as you pass. The light flashes briefly into the car, painting the walls in a soft emerald glow, then a ruby red glow before returning to shadow. It is a lighthouse in the sea of sand. You drift deeper down. Your consciousness is a small boat on a calm ocean. The waves are the sound of the train, gently rocking you, gently soothing you. You are sinking into the mattress of the seat. It feels like you are melting into it. The boundaries of your body are dissolving. You are just awareness. You are just peace. The train travels on mile after mile, hour after hour, through the canyons, through the flats, through the night. The desert is a place of silence, and the train respects that silence, adding only its steady heartbeat to the quiet. You are asleep now, or almost asleep, floating in the gray mist of deep rest. The world is far away. The destination is far away. Only the journey exists. Only the sleep exists. The train continues its steady march across the vast landscape, moving from a high desert into a region of deep canyons and ancient river valleys, where the shadows are long and the silence is heavy. The track winds its way along the edge of a precipice, a sheer drop into darkness that you cannot see, but you can feel in a way the train slows down and moves with careful precision. The sound of the wheels echoes off the canyon walls, creating a layered rhythm, a complex tapestry of sound that wraps around you like a heavy quilt. Click-clack, click-clack, echo, echo. It is a mesmerizing sound that seems to come from all directions, at once filling the cabin with a hum of vibration. You look out the window and see the jagged silhouette of the canyon rim against the star-filled sky, a black line dividing the earth from the heavens. Below you in the abyss, there is only darkness, a deep pool of night that swallows everything. You feel a sense of awe at the scale of the world outside, a feeling that makes your own worries and thoughts seem incredibly small and insignificant. You're just a tiny speck moving through a giant landscape, and that is a comforting thought. It means you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can let it go. You can let it drop into the canyon. The train enters a series of short tunnels cut directly through the rock. Darkness, light, darkness, light, darkness, light. It is a slow strobe effect that plays across your closed eyelids. The sound rushes in and rushes out. Whoosh, click, clack, whoosh, click, clack. It is a breathing rhythm, the train inhaling and exhaling as it works its way through the stone. You feel the temperature drop slightly as the train descends deeper into the valley, where the air is cool and damp and smells of wet stone and moss. It is a grounding scent of smell of the earth itself. You snuggle deeper into your seat, pulling your coat tighter around you, enjoying the contrast between the cool air against the glass and the warmth of your body. Your legs feel like heavy logs wood sunken deep into the floor. Your arms are draped loosely over the armrest, your fingers uncurled and still. Your head is heavy and supported by the pillow, which feels like a cloud. You are completely passive. You are completely at rest. The train crosses a steel truss bridge over a rushing river at the bottom of the canyon. You can hear the water below, a low roar that mixes with the rumble of the train. It is a white noise that scrubs your mind clean. You imagine the water flowing over the rocks, cold and clear and endless. It flows toward the sea just as you flow toward sleep. The bridge is long, and the sound of the hollow metal structure vibrating beneath the wheels is a deep baritone hum that resonates in your chest. Thrum. It vibrates your heart, slowing it down to match the pace of the night. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on the solid ground winding along the riverbank. The trees here are tall cottonwoods and willows that lean over the tracks, their branches brushing against the sides of the train with a soft, swishing sound. Swish, swish, swish. It is a gentle whisper, a secret being told to you by the trees. They are saying sleep. They are saying rest. They are saying peace. You pass a small, switching yard in the middle of nowhere, a lonely outpost with a few rusty tracks and a blinking red signal light. Click, click, click goes the sound of the wheels over the switches, a momentary syncopation in the steady rhythm. You see a deer standing near the tracks, its eyes glowing green in the reflection of the train lights. It watches you pass, a silent witness to your journey. Then it is gone, swallowed by the forest. The train begins to climb again, pulling slowly out of the valley and up towards the plains. You feel the engine working, the deep throb of power that pulls you upward. You feel the tilt of the seat pushing you back. You are being cradled. You are being held. The sky opens up again as you crest a ridge, revealing the moon, which has moved across the sky and is now hanging low on the horizon, a giant orb of pale yellow. It looks tired. It looks ready to set. You feel a kinship with the moon. You are both traveling through the night. You are both silent. You are both alone but together. The landscape flattens out into endless wheat fields again, miles of golden grain that wave in the wind like a dry ocean. The train picks up speed, settling back into its fast cruising rhythm. The click-clack becomes a continuous drone, a hum of speed and efficiency. You are moving fast, but you feel still. It is the paradox of travel. You're going everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Your mind is a blank slate. No thoughts stick to it. They just slide off like water off glass. You are focused only on the sensation of heaviness, the heaviness of your eyelids, the heaviness of your limbs, the heaviness of sleep. It is a good heaviness, a comfortable heaviness. It anchors you. It protects you. You listen to the creaks of the train car, the plastic and metal settling as the train moves. These are the sounds of a safe vessel. You trust the vessel. You surrender to the journey. You are drifting deeper into the gray fog of sleep. The world is soft. The edges are blurred. There is no sharp definition anymore. Only the hum. Only the sway, only the dark. You are floating down a river of steel and wood. You are a leaf on the water. You are a cloud in the sky. You are nothing and everything. You are asleep. The train moves relentlessly onward, cutting a straight line across the vast heartland of the continent, where the fields stretch out to the horizon in every direction, and the sky is a massive dome of darkness dotted with faint stars that look down on the sleeping earth with cold indifference. The rhythm of the wheels is a constant companion, a metronome that measures out the seconds of the night in steel and stone. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is the heartbeat of the journey, a sound that you feel in your bones as much as you hear with your ears. You look out the window and see the silhouette of a massive grain silo rising up against the night sky, a cathedral of agriculture, standing silent and tall next to the tracks. It is a dark shape that blocks out the stars for a moment before sliding past and disappearing into the wake of the train. You pass a small town that is nothing more than a cluster of houses and a single blinking traffic light at an empty intersection. The streetlights cast pools of orange sodium glow on the empty pavement, illuminating nothing but the damp asphalt and the shadows of moths fluttering around the bulbs. It is a lonely scene, but peaceful, a snapshot of life paused in the deep hours of the night. You wonder about the people sleeping in those houses safe in their beds while you rush past in the dark, but the thought is fleeting and soft like a wisp of smoke, and it drifts away before you can hold on to it. The train whistle blows long and low, a mournful chord that hangs in the air over the fields. Hoo-hoo, hoo. It is a sound that speaks of distance and travel, and the endless miles left to go. You settle deeper into your seat, feeling the plush fabric supporting your back and shoulders. You are encased in comfort. The air in the car is cool and still circulating slowly with a faint hum that sounds like a whisper. You can smell the faint scent of old coffee and upholstery, a smell that belongs only to trains and travel. It is a comforting scent, a familiar scent. You close your eyes and let the motion of the train rock you, side to side, gently, rhythmically. It is the motion of a cradle. It is the motion of the ocean. It is the motion of sleep. You feel your muscles letting go of their last bit of tension. Your legs are heavy and relaxed. Your arms are loose and limp. Your neck is soft. You are sinking down into the seat, down into the floor, down into the earth. The train crosses a bridge over a wide, slow-moving river. The sound of the wheels changes to a deep, hollow rumble that vibrates through the car. You look down and see the black water swirling below, reflecting the lights of the train in distorted ripples. It is a dark mirror moving silently towards the sea. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on the solid ground, moving through a tunnel of trees. The branches reach out towards the train, brushing against the sides with a soft, scratching sound. It sounds like rain. It sounds like wind. It sounds like silence. You are safe inside your moving room. Nothing can touch you here. You are separated from the world by glass and steel and speed. You are in a capsule of time, a bubble of peace. The train begins to slow down slightly as it approaches a curve. You feel the gentle pull of gravity, the shift in weight that tells your body you are turning. You lean into the turn, surrendering to the physics of the motion. Then the train straightens out again and picks up speed, returning to its steady, hypnotic rhythm. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a song without words, a lullaby of the rails. You let your mind drift. You are not thinking about the past. You are not thinking about the future. You are only here, now, in this seat, on this train, in this night, You see a light in the distance, a solitary farmhouse with a single window glowing yellow in the dark. It is a beacon of warmth in the cold night. You imagine a farmer sitting at his kitchen table drinking coffee and listening to the radio while the rest of the world sleeps. You feel a connection to him, a silent understanding between two people awake in the dark. Then the light is gone, left behind in the darkness, and you are alone again with the rhythm of the train. The landscape begins to change, the flat fields giving way to rolling hills that rise and fall like waves on the ocean. The train climbs the hills, slowly, the engine working hard, the deep thrum of power vibrating through the floor. You feel the effort. You feel the strength of the machine carrying you. Then you crest the hill and coast down the other side, moving fast and smooth. It is a roller coaster in slow motion, a gentle ride through the landscape of dreams. You are drifting deeper into sleep. The sounds of the train are becoming muffled, distant, like they are coming from another room. The sensation of your body is fading. You are just a point of awareness floating in the dark. You are peace. You are silence. You are rest. The train travels on, cutting a path through the night, moving towards a destination that doesn't matter. Only the journey matters. Only the sleep matters. You are safe. You are warm. You are sleeping. The train descends slowly into a deep valley where the air is thick with heavy mist that clings to the ground like a soft white blanket, and the world outside the window disappears into a gray fog that obscures the trees and the stars, leaving you in a cocoon of absolute isolation. The sound of the wheels changes as the moisture in the air dampens the noise, turning the sharp click-clack into a soft, dull thud-thud-thud that feels like a heartbeat wrapped in wool. You watch the mist swirling against the glass lit up briefly by the passing lights of the train, creating ghostly shapes that dance and dissolve in an instant. It is a dreamscape, a world without edges or definitions where everything is soft and fluid. You feel the coolness of the valley pressing against the window pane, a refreshing chill that makes the warmth of your seat feel even more luxurious. You pull your collar up slightly, nuzzling your chin into the fabric, feeling the security of being wrapped up tight. The train slows down as it crosses a long causeway over a wetland area where the fog is thickest. You look down and see the dark water between the reeds still and black, like ink reflecting nothing but the gray void above. The sound here is hollow and resonant, a low vibration that hums in the soles of your feet and travels up your legs, relaxing the muscles as it goes. You feel a deep sense of heaviness in your body, a pleasant weight that pulls you down into the cushions. Your hands are resting heavy on your lap, your fingers still and relaxed. Your breathing is slow and rhythmic, matching the slow roll of the train through the fog. In and out, in and out. The air in the car is still and quiet. The other passengers are just shapes in the dim light, silent bundles of blankets and pillows lost in their own dreams. You are alone in your wakefulness, but you are not lonely. You are the watcher of the mist. The train leaves the wetlands and enters a dense forest of pine and fir trees that loom tall and dark in the fog. You can only see the first few rows of trunks passing by like fence posts in the night. The smell of pine and damper seems to seep into your imagination, a fresh, clean scent that clears your mind of all cluttered thoughts. You are moving through a tunnel of nature, protected and safe. The rhythm of the tracks picks up slightly as the train finds solid ground again. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a familiar song, the steady lullaby that has been singing you to sleep for hours. You let your eyes close for a moment, listening to the sound. It is consistent. It is reliable. It is a sound of progress without effort. You do not have to do anything. You do not have to steer. You do not have to navigate. You just have to sit and be carried. You open your eyes lazily and see that the train is passing through a sleeping industrial town. You see the dark silhouettes of old brick factories with tall smokestacks that stand against the sky like monuments to a bygone era. There is no smoke coming from them tonight. They are sleeping giants, cold and quiet. You pass rows of rusty freight cars sitting on side tracks, forgotten and still. You pass a chain-link fence topped with razor wire that glimmers wetly in the mist. It is a scene of stillness, of activity paused. The town feels empty, as if everyone has left or is deep in a slumber, so profound that the passing of the train does not stir them. You feel a strange affection for these old buildings, for their quiet dignity in the dark. Then the town has gone fading back into the mist, and you are back in the woods, back in the wild. The train begins a long, slow climb up a grade the engine, working with a steady, deep rumble that vibrates through the floor. You feel the angle of the seat changing slightly, tilting you back, cradling you. It is a comforting sensation, like being rocked in a giant's arms. You are drifting. You are floating. The line between being awake and being asleep is blurring. You are not sure if you are seeing the trees or dreaming them. It does not matter. The feeling is the same. Peace, quiet, motion. The train levels off at the top of the ridge, and the fog begins to clear, revealing the moon again, high and bright and full. It casts a silver light on the tops of the trees, turning the forest into a sea of silver waves. You watch the light play across the landscape, flashing between the trunks. Flash, flash, flash. It is hypnotic. It is tiring your eyes in the most pleasant way. Your eyelids feel like lead curtains, heavy and impossible to keep open. You let them drop. You let them stay down. You listen to the sound of the train. It is a river of sound flowing around you. You are a stone at the bottom of the river, smooth and heavy and still. The water flows over you. The sound flows over you. You are safe. You are grounded. You are deep, deep asleep. The train travels on to the night, through the forest, through the silver light, carrying you further and further into the land of dreams, where the rails never end and the peace is eternal. The train descends gently from the ridge, moving smoothly down the tracks, like a drop of water, sliding down a glass pane. You are leaving the silver forest behind and entering a vast, wide valley where the shadows are long and soft, and the earth smells of damp soil and resting grass. The moon is still your companion, hanging high and bright in the western sky, casting a pale glow of the fields that stretch out endlessly to the horizon. You can see the faint outline of a river winding its way through the valley floor, a dark ribbon of water that reflects the stars like scattered diamonds. The sound of the train changes as the landscape opens up, becoming a softer, more diffuse rhythm that spreads out into the night. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a gentle percussion, a heartbeat that pulses through the floor and into your feet, grounding you in the present moment. You feel the plush velvet of the seat against your cheeks, soft and warm and inviting. Your body feels heavy and loose, as if gravity has increased just enough to hold you perfectly still. You are not sleeping yet, but you are not awake. You are in the drift, a sweet spot between worlds where thoughts float by like clouds and nothing sticks. You watch a solitary farmhouse pass by in the distance, a small square of white light in the vast ocean of darkness. You imagine a family inside, perhaps sleeping soundly in their beds, or perhaps someone is up late reading a book in the quiet of the kitchen. You feel a connection to that distant light, a silent acknowledgement of shared existence in the night. The train crosses a small wooden bridge over a creek, and the sound of the wheels changes briefly to a hollow rumble before returning to the steady click-clack. You feel the slight vibration in the armrest, a comforting hum that travels up your arm and relaxes your shoulders. You take a slow, deep breath, inhaling the cool air that circulates in the car air, that smells faintly of linen and old paper. It is a clean scent, a neutral scent that calms the mind. You close your eyes for a moment and listen to the symphony of the train. The creak of the carriage, the hum of the ventilation, the rhythmic beat of the wheels. It is a white noise machine made of steel in motion. You open your eyes again just a sliver and see that the landscape has changed slightly. The fields are replaced by rows of orchard trees, standing in perfect lines like soldiers in the night. You watch the rows flash by one, creating a strobe effect of shadow and light that is hypnotic to watch. Row after row, mile after mile. It is repetitive and boring and absolutely perfect. You do not need to know what kind of trees they are or where they are going. You only need to watch them pass. The train slows down slightly as it approaches a curve, and you feel the gentle tug of momentum pulling you deeper into the corner of your seat. It feels like a hug. A warm, secure hug from the train itself. You are safe here. You are protected from the wind and the rain and the cold. You are in a moving sanctuary. The curve straightens out, and the train picks up speed again, returning to its steady cruising rhythm. You feel a wave of relaxation wash over you, starting at the top of your head and flowing down to your toes. Your forehead is smooth. Your jaw is loose. Your hands are open and relaxed. You are sinking into the seat, sinking into the floor, sinking into the earth. The train passes a small signal station, a tiny shack with a green light glowing above the door. It flashes by in an instant, a green streak in your vision, and then it is gone, left behind in the dark. You wonder how many signal stations there are in the world, how many tiny lights watching over the tracks in the middle of the night. It is a comforting thought to know that the way is lit, that the path is clear. You drift deeper into the gray fog of sleep. The sounds of the train seem to be moving further away, becoming a distant murmur. You are floating on a cloud of sound. You are weightless. You are free. The train travels on through the valley, through the orchards, through the night, carrying you effortlessly toward the morning. But the morning is still far away, and for now, there's only the night. The deep, quiet, endless night. You are asleep. You are dreaming of wheels and tracks and stars. You are part of the journey, part of the silence, part of the peace. The train follows the curve of a wide river, now the water dark and glossy, like oil reflecting the few scattered clouds that drift across the moon. The landscape is flat and open here, allowing you to see for miles across the dark water to the other bank, where a line of trees stands like a black ink stroke against the horizon. The sound of the train is steady and rhythmic, a constant drumming that vibrates through the floor and up into the soles of your feet, creating a soothing massage that travels up your legs and into your spine. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a sound that signals progressive sound that says you are moving forward without having to make any effort at all. You watch the moonlight dancing on the ripples of the river, a shimmering path of silver that follows the train as if it were tethered to you. You feel a deep sense of calm watching that water flow, knowing that it is heading toward the ocean just as you are heading toward sleep. The train slows down slightly as it crosses a long, low trestle bridge over a tributary stream, and the sound of the wheels changes to a deeper hollow rumble that resonates in your chest. You look down through the slats of the bridge railing and see the water rushing below white foam, visible even in the dark. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on the solid ground, the rhythm returning to its higher-pitched click-clack. You pass a small fishing dock with a single boat tied up its hull gently bumping against the wooden pilings. Bump, bump, bump. It is a slow rhythm within the faster rhythm of the train. You imagine the fisherman sleeping in a cabin nearby, dreaming of the catch he will bring in tomorrow morning. The air inside the car feels warm and cozy, a perfect contrast to the cool, damp air you imagine is outside near the river. You can smell the faint scent of rain that must have fallen miles back, a clean metallic scent that lingers on the glass. You snuggle deeper into your seat, finding that perfect position where every muscle is supported, and you do not need to hold yourself up. Your head rests heavily against the window frame, the cool glass vibrating slightly against your temple, sending a hum of relaxation directly into your mind. You close your eyes and let the visual world fade away, leaving only the world of sound and sensation. You hear the soft rustle of a newspaper from a passenger a few rows back, a dry, crinkling sound that is strangely comforting. You hear the low hum of the air circulation system, a white noise that masks any other sounds. You feel the gentle sway of the car as it navigates the track side to side, side to side. It is the motion of a cradle rocking a child to sleep. You let your breathing sink with the swaying. In as you sway left, out as you sway right, in, out, you are becoming one with the motion of the train. You're losing track of where your body ends and the seat begins. It is all just one continuous field of comfort. You open your eyes lazily for a moment as a bright light flashes past the window. It was a street lamp at a lonely railroad crossing, illuminating the black and white crossbucks and the empty road for a split second before vanishing. It leaves an afterimage on your retina, a glowing spot that slowly fades back into the darkness. You are moving through the world of men, but you are apart from it. You are a traveler in the night. The train begins to climb a long, gentle grade, leaving the river valley behind and heading up towards the high plains. You can feel the engine working harder, the deep thrum of power vibrating through the floorboards. You feel a sense of heaviness as gravity pulls you deeper into the cushions. It is a pleasant weight, a grounding weight. You are anchored here. You are safe here. The landscape outside changes to rolling hills covered in tall grass that waves in the wind. The moon illuminates the grass, turning it into a sea of silver and gray. You watch the waves of wind move across the hills like ripples on a pond. It is mesmerizing. It is hypnotic. Your eyelids are growing heavy again, heavier than before. It is a struggle to keep them open, and you realize you do not want to struggle. You want to let go. You want to surrender to the heaviness. You let your eyes close, and this time they stay closed. You are listening to the train. You are feeling the train. You are the train. You are moving through the dark, through the quiet, through the night. The miles are ticking by one. The worries are falling away one by one. There is only the rhythm. There is only the peace. You are drifting down into the soft velvet darkness of deep restorative sleep. The train has reached the top of the long grade now and settles into a smooth, easy glide across the high plateau, where the air is thin and crisp, and the stars look like diamonds scattered on black velvet. The engine's roar subsides to a gentle purr, a low contentment that vibrates through the frame of the car. You look out into the vast emptiness and see the silhouette of a lone windmill standing watch in the dark, its blades still and silent, waiting for the morning breeze. It is a symbol of patience, a reminder that there is no need to rush, no need to force anything, just a need to be present and wait. The tracks here are perfectly straight, two lines of silver stretching into infinity, and the ride is incredibly smooth, almost as if the train is floating inches above the ground. The click-clack sound is soft and rapid, a hushed whisper that lulls you deeper into your seat. You feel a profound sense of isolation up here on the roof of the world, but it is a good isolation, a protective isolation that separates you from the noise and chaos of daily life. You are in a capsule of peace moving through a vacuum of silence. The train passes a small herd of antelope sleeping near the tracks, their tawny coats blending into the dry grass. They do not move as the train rushes by. They are part of the landscape, part of the stillness. You feel your own body becoming part of the landscape, too heavy and still and rooted in the moment. Your breathing is slow and shallow, barely moving your chest. Your heart rate is slow and steady, matching the rhythm of the rails. You are in a state of stasis, a suspended animation, where time has no meaning. The train enters a patch of fog that clings to the high ground, swirling around the windows in gray tendrils. It obscures the stars and the moon, creating a cozy, intimate atmosphere inside the car. You feel like you are wrapped in cotton wool, protected from the sharp edges of the world. The fog dampens the sound of the wheels even further, turning the rhythm into a soft throb that you feel more than you hear. Throb, 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 throb. It is deep and soothing, like a massage for your nervous system. You let your head roll gently to the side, resting against the cool window pane, feeling the vibration of the glass against your skin. It is a connection to the machine, a physical link to the journey. You close your eyes and visualize the tracks ahead, straight and clear and safe. You trust the engineer, you trust the signals, you trust the steel. You can let go. You can stop holding yourself up. You can surrender to the gravity. The fog begins to lift as the train descends slightly, entering a dense forest of aspen trees. Their white trunks glow in the dark like ghost pillars, and their leaves shimmer in the wind, created by the passing train. You watch the white bark flash by in a rhythmic pattern, white, black, white, black, white, black. It is mesmerizing. It acts like a pendulum, swinging back and forth, hypnotizing you into a deeper state of relaxation. You are falling gently like a leaf drifting down from a tree. You are drifting down into the soft, dark earth of sleep. The train crosses a narrow wooden trestle over a dry creek bed, the sound echoing hollowly for a brief second before returning to the muffled quiet of the forest. You smell the scent of dry leaves and pine needles faintly in the air, a dusty ancient smell that speaks of deep autumn nights. You feel a warmth spreading through your chest, a physical sensation of comfort and safety. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. You are sleeping. The train rounds a long curve, banking slightly, and you feel the gentle pressure pushing you into the corner of the seat. It is a comforting pressure, a feeling of being held. You drift past a small cabin tucked away in the woods, a single lantern glowing on the porch. You imagine the life inside, quiet and simple and slow. You take that feeling of slowness into yourself. You slow down your thoughts. You slow down your muscles. You slow down your mind. The train moves on, leaving the cabin and the forest behind, entering a wide open valley where a large lake reflects the starlight. The water is flat and calm, a mirror for the heavens. You watch the reflection of the moon gliding across the surface of the water, keeping pace with the train. It is a silent companion, a guiding light in the dark. The rhythm of the train seems to merge with the stillness of the lake, creating a profound silence that fills your ears and your mind. You are drifting on that lake, floating on the dark water, supported and weightless. You are asleep, deeply asleep. The journey continues, but you are no longer watching. You are just being. You are just resting. You are just peace. The train moves away from the silent lake, and the reflection of the moon disappears, leaving only the dark outline of the shore, which quickly gives way to the familiar patterns of open farmland, where the soil is black and rich and the crops are sleeping under a blanket of heavy dew. You can see the faint outline of a tractor parked near a barn, its large tires silent and still, and it looks like a resting beast of burden, waiting for the sun to rise, but the sun is far away and the night belongs to the train. The rhythm of the wheels shifts slightly as you cross a series of switches, clack, 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 a momentary syncopation that feels like a shuffle in the dance, but then the steady beat returns, smoothing out the world again. You pass a small town that is sleeping soundly, its streets empty save for a single cat that darts across the road under a yellow streetlight, its eyes glowing for a fraction of a second before vanishing into the shadows of a hedgerow. You see a row of brick storefronts with their awnings rolled up and their signs dark, a hardware store, a bakery, a small law office, all of them closed and quiet and filled with the heavy silence of the night. A traffic light at the main intersection blinks yellow in a slow rhythmic pulse yellow. Yellow, yellow, a caution to no one, because no one is there to see it except you and the train. You feel a strange sense of comfort in witnessing the secret life of the town, this moment of pause where the hustle and bustle is suspended and everything is just existing. The train moves past the town, and the houses grow further apart until they are replaced by the open field again, and the darkness returns to wrap around the car like a soft blanket. The sound of the whistle blows soft and low, a gentle warning to the deer and the foxes that the iron horse is coming through. Huh, huh. It is a lonely sound, but beautiful, a sound that belongs to the American night. You shift your legs, stretching them out into the empty space in front of you, and feel the fabric of your trousers brushing against the seat, a soft swish that is barely audible over the hum of the air conditioning. Your eyes are heavy, so heavy that they feel like they are made of lead, and every time you blink it takes a little longer to open them again, until finally you just decide not to open them. You let them stay closed, and you watch the afterimages of the streetlights fading into the blackness behind your lids. You listen to the click-clack of the wheels, and it begins to sound like a word, a name, a mantra, repeated over and over again. Sleep, 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 sleep. The train begins to cross a long, flat section of the plains where the tracks are straight as an arrow, and the speed increases slightly, turning the rhythm into a seamless hum of vibration. You feel the vibration in your lower back, a gentle buzzing that loosens the tight muscles and sends a wave of relaxation up your spine to the base of your neck. You are floating on a cushion of air and still moving through the void of the night. You imagine the engineer up in the locomotive watching the rails unfold in the beam of the headlight, a tunnel of light in the darkness, and you feel safe knowing that someone is awake. So you don't have to be. You are the passenger. Your only job is to rest. Your only job is to let go. You feel the seat holding you up, supporting your weight completely, and you surrender to it, giving up all resistance. You are melting into the journey. You are melting into the night. The train passes a river, now the water wide and slow and dark, reflecting the few stars that have managed to poke through the high drifting clouds. You can hear the change in sound of the wheels as the train crosses the steel bridge, a deeper, hollower sound that resonates in the cavity of your chest. Rum rum. It is a soothing sound of brown noise that drowns out everything else. Then the bridge is behind you, and you are back on the solid earth, back to the click-clack, click-clack. You are drifting deeper and deeper into a state of pure relaxation, where the body is asleep, but the mind is just a passive observer watching the dream of the journey unfold. You see a light in the distance, a solitary porch light on a farmhouse miles away, and it looks like a star that has fallen to earth. You wonder who lives there, and if they can hear the train passing in the night, a gentle rumble that shakes their window panes ever so slightly. It is a comforting thought, the idea of the train connecting all these lonely points of light in the darkness. The air in the car is cool and fresh, and you take a deep, slow breath, filling your lungs with the stillness. You exhale slowly, letting the last bit of tension leave your body with a breath. You are completely limp, completely relaxed. The train enters a cut in the hills where the earth rises up on both sides of the tracks, blocking out the view and intensifying the sound. The noise echoes off the dirt walls, creating a cocoon of sound that wraps you up tight. You feel the train banking left, following the contour of the land, and your body leans into turn naturally, effortlessly. You are one with the train. You are one with the motion. You are traveling through the night towards a destination of peace. The train emerges from the cut, and the view opens up again, revealing a vast expanse of dark forest that stretches to the horizon. The trees are a black ocean of leaves and branches moving silently in the wind. You watch the tree line rise and fall against the sky, a gentle wave that lulls you deeper into sleep. You are safe. You are warm. You are quiet. The world is turning slowly, and you are turning with it, moving through the dark towards the light. But the light is far away, and the dark is here, and the dark is good. Sleep now. Sleep. The train continues to glide through the endless forest, where the trees are tall and dark, and stand shoulder to shoulder like a silent army guarding the tracks. The darkness here is profound, a deep inky blackness that swallows the light from the train windows and gives nothing back. You can feel the solitude of the woods pressing against the glass, a quiet isolation that is both eerie and comforting. The sound of the train is dampened by the dense wall of trees, turning the sharp click-clack of the wheels into a soft rhythmic thudding that sounds like a heartbeat slowed down to a hibernation pace. Thud, 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 thud. It is a biological sound, a living pulse that resonates with your own deep breathing. You snuggle down further into your seat, pulling your coat up around your ears, creating a small warm cave for yourself. The air is cool against your face, contrasting pleasantly with the warmth of your body. You are safe in your little cave, moving through the big dark woods. The train curves gently to the right, and you feel the subtle shift in gravity, the gentle pressure that pushes you deeper into the softness of the cushion. It feels like a hand pressing you down, telling you to stay, still telling you to rest. You watch the occasional break in the trees where a small clearing opens up, revealing a patch of star-filled sky, or a moonlit meadow where the grass looks like silver fur. These glimpses are fleeting, gone in a blink, replaced instantly by the wall of dark trunks again. It is a hypnotic visual rhythm, open, closed, light, dark, light, dark. Your eyes are getting heavy again, so heavy that keeping them open feels like lifting weights. You let them slide shut, and the relief is instant. A wave of relaxation washes over your scalp, down your neck, and into your shoulders. The tension melts away like ice in warm water. You are floating on a dark river sound. The train crosses a small trestle bridge over a rushing creek, and for a second the sound becomes hollow and loud, a sudden roar of water, and before returning to the muffled quiet of the pine needles and earth. You imagine the cold, clear water flowing over the rocks below, heading nowhere in particular, just flowing, because that is what water does. You are like the water now flowing through the night, without effort, without purpose, just existing in the motion. The train begins to climb a long, slow grade, the engine working steadily with a deep baritone hum that vibrates through the floor and into your bones. It is a comforting vibration, a massage from the inside out. You feel the change in the angle of the seat, tilting back, slightly cradling you even more securely. You are being lifted up, carried up the mountain by a machine that never gets tired. You drift deeper into the twilight state between wakefulness and sleep, where thoughts become images and sounds become colors. The rhythm of the train becomes a pattern of blue and gray light pulsing behind your eyelids. You see the tracks stretching out ahead of you, silver lines, and the moonlight leading you into the future. But the future doesn't matter right now. Only the present matters. Only this moment of peace. The train levels off at the top of the pass and picks up speed again, moving effortlessly across the high plateau. The trees thin out here, replaced by scrub brush and rocks that look like sleeping giants in the dark. The sky opens up huge and wide and filled with more stars than you have ever seen. You feel small under that vast sky, but safe inside your moving metal shell. You are a tiny spark of life traveling through the infinite night. The train passes a lonely signal tower, its red light blinking slowly in the distance. Blink, blink, blink. It is a heartbeat in the dark, a sign that someone is watching over the line. You feel a sense of gratitude for that red light, for the invisible network of safety that surrounds you. The train begins to descend, winding its way down the other side of the pass. You feel the momentum shifting, the gentle pull of gravity as you glide downhill. It is a smooth, effortless motion like flying in a dream. You are drifting down, down, down into the valley of sleep. The air in the car is quiet and still filled with the soft breathing of sleeping passengers. You are part of a community of dreamers, all traveling together through the night. You feel connected to them, connected to the train, connected to the earth. You are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to be doing. You are resting. You are healing. You are sleeping. The rhythm of the wheels is a constant reassuring presence, a friend that never leaves your side. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It whispers to you. It tells you to let go. It tells you to surrender. And you do. You let go of the last bit of holding on. You let go of the day. You let go of the worry. You fall into the arms of the train. You fall into the arms of the night. You are deep asleep. The train descends from the mountain pass and enters a wide basin where the land is flat and dry, and the air smells of sage and dust. The moon is setting now, dipping low towards the western horizon, turning a deep orange color that stains the few clouds with streaks of violet and gray. The light inside the car is dim and blue, a soft nocturnal glow that makes everything look soft and indistinct. The rhythm of the wheels is crisp and sharp on the flat tracks, a rapid staccato beat that sounds like rain on a tin roof. Click, 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 click. It is a busy sound, but a soothing one, a sound of efficiency and speed. You are moving fast through the empty desert, covering miles every minute while you sit perfectly still. It is a strange and wonderful feeling to be moving so fast, and yet doing absolutely nothing. You shift slightly in your seat, seeking a cool spot on the pillow, and the fabric feels smooth and comforting against your cheek. Your body is heavy with sleep. Your limbs feel like they belong to someone else, someone who is completely relaxed and at peace. You watch the desert floor rushing by, outside a blur of gray and black brush illuminated by the train's passing lights. Occasionally you see the eyes of a jackrabbit glowing in the dark, watching the metal monster pass, but mostly there's just emptiness. The emptiness is good. It gives your mind permission to be empty too. You do not need to fill the silence with thoughts. You can just let the silence be. You take a deep, slow breath, inhaling the cool air and exhaling the last of your tension. Your chest rises and falls slowly, rhythmically matching the sway of the train car. You are in sync. You are aligned. The train crosses a dry wash of riverbed of sand and stones where water only flows in spring. The sound of the bridge is a quick, hollow roar, a sudden change in texture that ripples through your body before disappearing back into the steady click-clack. You feel the vibration in the floor, a gentle buzzing that feels like a cat purring against your feet. It is a friendly vibration, a comforting presence. You pass a lonely highway that runs parallel to the tracks for a while. There are no cars on it, just a strip of asphalt stretching into the dark. You wonder where it goes, but you don't really care because you are not on the road, you're on the rails, and the rails know where they're going. You trust the rails. You trust the journey. You close your eyes again, letting the visual world fade away. The sound of the train becomes your whole world, a universe of sound, a symphony of steel and wind. You hear the high pitch of the wind rushing past the windows. You hear the low pitch of the engine humming in the distance. You hear the mid-range click of the wheels on the track joints. It is a complex, layered sound that is incredibly boring and incredibly beautiful. It is the music of sleep. You drift deeper into the darkness behind your eyes. Colors begin to swirl, their soft blues and purples that dissolve into gray. You are entering the dream state, the hypnagogic state, where thoughts turn into dreams and dreams turn into nothing. You see images of places you have never been, faces you have never seen, landscapes that exist only in your mind. They float by like clouds, soft and shapeless. You do not try to hold on to them. You just let them pass. You are a passenger in your own mind watching the scenery go by. The train begins to slow down again as it approaches a small settlement. You feel the brakes applying gently, a soft tug that pulls you forward slightly. The rhythm slows. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. You open your eyes lazily and see a few scattered lights outside. A gas station. A motel with flickering neon sign. A row of dark houses. It is a quiet, dusty town sleeping under the desert sky. The train rolls through slowly, respecting the quiet, not blowing its whistle, just gliding like a ghost. You feel a sense of peace watching this sleeping town. It reminds you that the world is at rest, that it is okay to rest. The train picks up speed again, leaving the town behind and returning to the open desert. The rhythm accelerates. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. You settle back into your deep relaxation. You are safe. You are warm. You are moving. You are asleep. The miles tick by. The hours tick by. But time doesn't matter here. Only the journey matters. Only the sleep matters. You are drifting on a sea of sand and stars carried by a ship of steel and dreams. You are peace. You are silence. You are rest. The train moves forward into the gray stillness of the early morning hours where the sky is no longer black, but a deep charcoal that hints at the coming dawn of the sun is still far below the horizon. The landscape outside is a monochrome blur of shadow and shape, where details are lost in the low light, and the world looks like a charcoal drawing that has been smudged by a gentle hand. The rhythm of the wheels is steady and unwavering, a constant companion that has been with you through the night and will be with you through the day. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a comforting sound that says everything is working exactly as it should, and there is nothing for you to worry about. You are drifting in the shallow waters of sleep, now bobbing on the surface of consciousness like a cork on a gentle sea. You are aware of the train and the motion, but it feels distant, like it is happening to someone else. Your body is heavy and warm, sunken deep into the plush upholstery of the seat, which feels like a second skin. You feel the vibration of the engine, a low hum that travels through the floor and up your legs, relaxing the muscles in your calves and thighs. Your hands are resting loosely in your lap, your fingers uncurled and still. Your breath is slow, and even a quiet rhythm that matches the sway of the car. In and out, in and out. The train enters a region of rolling farmland where the fields are separated by lines of tall trees that stand like sentinels in the mist. You see the faint outline of a barn with a silo standing next to it, a classic shape that is instantly recognizable even in the dark. A single light burns on the side of the barn, a yellow beacon in the gray sea. You wonder if the farmer is awake, starting his chores in the quiet of the morning, or if the light was left on all night to guide the way for travelers like you. It doesn't matter really. It is just a point of light in the passing landscape. The train slows down slightly as it curves around a hill, and you feel the gentle tug of gravity pulling you deeper into your seat. It is a comforting sensation, a feeling of being held and supported. You watch the trees pass by one, their branches reaching out toward the track, but never touching. The train is a sealed capsule, a world unto itself, moving through the larger world, but separate from it. You are safe inside. You are warm inside. You pass a small pond that reflects the gray sky, a perfect mirror of stillness. There are no ripples on the water, no birds flying over it, just a flat sheet of gray glass. It looks peaceful. It looks cold. You are glad to be inside where it is warm. The train picks up speed again, the rhythm quickening to a steady drone. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a mesmerizing sound, a hypnotic beat that lulls you back down into the depths of sleep. You close your eyes and let the visual world fade away, leaving only the sound and the feeling of motion. You are floating. You are flying. You are drifting. The train crosses a long steel bridge over a wide river of sound, changing to a deep hollow roar that vibrates in your chest. You feel the power of the train, the weight of the steel, the strength of the bridge. It is a feeling of solidity and security. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on the ground, the rhythm returning to its familiar click-clack. You pass through the outskirts of a small city where the houses are closer together and streetlights line the roads. The lights are amber and soft, casting long shadows on the lawns. You see a car stopped at a red light, its brake lights glowing bright red in the gloom. The driver is just a silhouette of fellow traveler in the early morning. You wonder where they're going so early in the day, but your mind is too slow to form a real question, so the thought just drifts away like smoke. The train moves through the city without stopping, gliding past the sleeping houses and the closed shops. You feel a sense of detachment, a feeling of being a ghost passing to the world of the living. It is a peaceful feeling of freedom. The city fades behind you, and you are back in the open country, where the mist hangs low over the fields. The light is changing now, turning from charcoal to a soft slate blue. The dawn is approaching, but it is slow and gentle, not a sudden burst of light, but a gradual lifting of the veil of night. You watch the color seep back into the world. The grass turned from black to gray to a muted green. The sky turned from black to blue to a pale lavender. It is a slow-motion sunrise, a painting being created brushstroke by brushstroke right before your eyes. But your eyes are heavy, so heavy. You can barely keep them open to watch. You let them close again, and the colors fade into a warm darkness. You listen to the train. The sound is your anchor. The sound is your guide. It tells you that you are moving. It tells you that you are safe. It tells you to sleep. You drift deeper down into the warmth of the seat. You are wrapped in a blanket of sound. You are held in the arms of the motion. The train travels on mile after mile towards the horizon. You do not know where you are going, and you do not care. The journey is enough. The sleep is enough. You are at peace. The train continues its steady journey as the sky lightens to a pale blue-gray, signaling the arrival of dawn. But the sun remains hidden below the horizon, keeping the world in a soft, shadowless state of twilight. You are traveling through a landscape of rolling hills covered in dew-soaked grass that glimmers faintly in the growing light. The mist hangs low in the valleys, pooling like white water around the base of the trees and obscuring the ground, so that the hilltops look like islands floating in a sea of clouds. The rhythm of the wheels is unchanged, a constant heartbeat of steel on steel that has become the soundtrack of your existence. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a reassuring sound, a sound of continuity and safety. You feel completely relaxed, your body molded to the shape of the seat, your muscles loose and heavy. You are not quite asleep, but not fully awake, drifting in that delicious liminal space where dreams and reality overlap. You watch the world pass by through half-closed eyes, seeing the shapes of trees and fences and barns flow past like a river of images. You see a herd of cows standing in a field, their breath steaming in the cool morning air. They are waking up slowly, just like the world around them. One of them looks up as the train passes, chewing, cut rhythmically, a picture of bovine calm. You feel a kinship with that calmness. You are just as peaceful, just as content to simply be. The train curves gently, following a line of a small stream that winds through the hills. The water is clear and rushes over stones, creating white foam that stands out against the dark water. You can almost hear the babbling of the brook mixing with the roar of the train, a natural harmony of water and steel. You pass a small farmhouse with a wraparound porch where a dog is sleeping on a mat. It does not wake up as the train goes by. It is used to the sound. It knows the train is just a harmless giant passing in the morning. You feel safe knowing that the world is waking up around you, but you do not have to wake up yet. You can stay in your cocoon of comfort a little longer. The air in the car is still cool and smells faintly of coffee now, as someone further down the car has woken up and poured a cup from a thermos. The smell is warm and inviting, but it does not make you want to get up. It just adds to the cozy atmosphere, making you feel even more snug in your seat. You pull your blanket up a little higher, tucking it under your chin. The texture is soft and warm against your skin. You close your eyes fully now, letting the visual world disappear completely. You focus on the sounds. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels, the low hum of the engine, the soft creaking of the carriage as it sways. It is a lullaby, mechanical song sung just for you. You let your mind wander, drifting from thought to thought without purpose. You think of clouds. You think of rivers. You think of sleep. The train crosses a long viaduct high above a valley floor. You can feel the change in the air pressure, the feeling of being high up. The sound of the wheels is louder here, echoing off the emptiness below. It is a thrilling sound reminder of the power of the journey. Then you are back on solid ground of sound, muffling again to a comfortable thrum. You are moving through a forest, now the trees close to the track, creating a tunnel of green and brown. The light flickers as the sun begins to peek through the trees, casting long shadows across the car. Shadow light, shadow light, shadow light. It is a gentle strobe effect that plays on your eyelids. It is hypnotic. It draws you deeper down, deeper into relaxation, deeper into rest. You feel your breathing slow down, even more, becoming deep and rhythmic. In, out, in, out. You are synchronized with the train. You are part of the machine. You are traveling through space and time without moving a muscle. It is the ultimate freedom, the ultimate peace. The train begins to climb again, slowly, steadily up a long incline. You feel the engine working the deep vibration in the floor. You feel the seat tilting back, holding you securely. You are being carried up into the light of the new day. But you are taking the night with you in your heart. The peace of the darkness is still with you. You are resting in the light, just as you rested in the dark. You are safe. You are warm. You are sleeping. The miles continue to roll by, effortless and endless. The journey is not over. The sleep is not over. You drift on, carried by the rhythm, carried by the rails, carried by the dream. The train reaches the crest of the hill, and the engine eases its effort, settling back into a quiet hum as gravity begins to assist the descent. And you feel the subtle shift in momentum, a lightness in your stomach that feels like a gentle sigh of relief. The sun has finally broken the horizon behind you, casting long golden rays that chase the train down the slope, illuminating the mist in the valley below and turning it into a glowing sea of gold and white. Inside the car, the light changes from blue-gray to a warm amber that washes over the seats and the floor, highlighting the floating dust motes that dance in the air like tiny stars. You watch them swirl in the slow currents of the air conditioning, captivated by their aimless, silent movement. The rhythm of the wheels picks up a little speed as the train glides downhill. Click-clack, click-click, click-clack. It is a joyful sound, a sound of effortless motion. You are coasting. You are floating. You are free. The landscape outside is waking up in earnest now. You see a farmhouse with smoke rising from the chimney, a thin gray ribbon against the blue sky. You see a red pickup truck driving slowly down a dirt road, kicking up a small cloud of dust that hangs in the still air. You see a flock of birds lifting off from a telephone wire, rippling into the sky like a thrown net. Everything is moving slowly, peacefully, in the golden light of the morning. You feel a sense of distance from it all, a comfortable detachment. You are an observer safe behind your glass wall, watching the world begin its day while you continue your rest. The seat feels even softer now, if that is possible, as if it has molded itself perfectly to your body during the long night. Your legs are heavy and warm, your arms are limp, and relaxed, your head is supported by the pillow. You do not want to move. You do not need to move. You just want to stay here in this moving cocoon forever. The train enters a patch of woods where the trees are still in shadow, the sunlight filtering through branches in shafts of green and gold. The light flickers across your closed eyelids, warm, cool, warm, cool. It is a gentle massage for your eyes, a visual lullaby. You listen to the sound of the train echoing off the trees. It is a hushed sound, a secret whisper between the steel and the wood. You smell the scent of pine and damp earth coming through the ventilation, a fresh, clean smell that reminds you of camping trips and long hikes. But you do not have to hike today. You do not have to walk. You only have to ride. The train crosses a small bridge over a sparkling creek, the water rushing over smooth stones. You hear the brief hollow roar of the bridge, a deep note in the song of the journey. Then you are back on the soft earth, the rhythm returning to its steady beat. You pass a small town that is just stirring to life. A flag is being raised at the post office, snapping lazily in the breeze. A school bus is stopped at a corner, its red lights flashing, waiting for children who are not there yet. A man is sweeping the sidewalk in front of a grocery store, his broom moving in a slow rhythmic cadence that matches the train. Sweep, 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 click, clack, click. It is a symphony of small moments, a celebration of the ordinary. You feel a deep affection for these simple scenes, for the quiet dignity of everyday life. The town fades behind you, and you are back in the open fields where the corn stands tall and green. The rows of corn flash by faster and faster, blurring into a wall of emerald green. It is a soothing color, a restful color. You let your eyes lose focus, let the green blur wash over you. It is like looking at the ocean. It is like looking at the sky. It is endless and calming. You feel a wave of drowsiness rolling over you again, heavier than before. The morning light is warm on your face, a gentle heat that relaxes the muscles around your eyes and mouth. You feel a smile tugging at the corner of your lips, a smile of pure contentment. You are happy to be here. You are happy to be moving. You are happy to be sleeping. The train slows down slightly as it approaches a wide curve, banking gently to the left. You feel the centrifugal force pushing you softly into the cushion, holding you in place. It is a secure feeling of being cradled. You watch the front of the train curving ahead of you, the silver engine gleaming in the sun, pulling the long line of cars like a thread through a needle. It is a beautiful machine, a machine of purpose and grace. You surrender to its power. You surrender to its path. The curve straightens out and the rhythm returns. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is the heartbeat of the morning, the pulse of the land. You drift deeper down into the space between thoughts. The noise of the world is far away. The demands of the day are far away. There is only this: the seat, the window, the light, the sound. You are drifting on a river of steel. You are floating on a cloud of steam. You are traveling towards a destination of peace. The miles roll by unnoticed. The hours roll by unnoticed. You are timeless. You are weightless. You are asleep. The train continues its journey across the sun-drenched plains, moving through the morning with a steady, determined rhythm that has become the only reality you know. The light outside is bright and clear, now a brilliant yellow that washes out the shadows and makes the colors of the world pop with vibrancy. The green of the grass is intense, the blue of the sky is deep, and the red of the barns is vivid. But inside the car, the tinted windows soften the glare, turning the world into a gentle movie that you are watching from the comfort of your shaded seat. You feel the warmth of the sun penetrating the glass, touching your arm and your cheek with a gentle heat that feels like a warm hand resting on your skin. It is a comforting warmth, a sleepy warmth that encourages you to close your eyes and drift. The sound of the wheels is a constant reassuring drone, a white noise that blocks out all other sounds and thoughts. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a mantra of movement, a chant of progress. You let your mind settle into the rhythm, letting it carry you away from your worries and your to-do lists. There is nothing to do here. There is nowhere to go. You are already where you need to be. You shift your weight slightly in the seat, finding a new position that is even more comfortable than the last. Your head rests heavily against the side wing of the headrest, your neck completely relaxed. Your shoulders are dropped, your arms are heavy, your legs are loose. You are a rag doll of relaxation. You watch the telephone poles whizzing by outside, a rhythmic procession of wood and wire. Dip, rise, rise. The wires dance between the poles, tracking the train's movement. It is hypnotic to watch. It makes your eyelids feel heavy. It makes your brain feel slow. You are entering a trance state, a state of pure observation, without judgment. You see a hawk circling high above a field, its wings spread wide, riding the thermal currents. It is silent and graceful and master the air. You feel a connection to it, a shared sense of floating. You are floating on the rails just as the hawk is floating on the wind. The train slows down as it passes through a small construction zone. You see men in orange vests standing near the tracks, leaning on shovels, watching the train go by. They wave slowly, lazily, and you imagine waving back, but your hand is too heavy to lift, so you just wave in your mind. The sound of the wheels changes, here clattering over temporary tracks, a rougher, deeper sound. Clunk, 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 clunk. It is a texture change, a brief interruption in the smooth flow. Then the construction is gone, and the smooth rails return the click-clack, resuming its steady beat. You pass a field of sunflowers, their heads all turned towards the east, facing the morning sun. Thousands of yellow faces looking at the light. It is a cheerful sight, a hopeful sight. It makes you feel good inside. It makes you feel peaceful. The train enters a long, straight section of track that stretches to the horizon, disappearing into a single point. You look down the line, seeing the perspective narrow, seeing the distance vanish. It is a visual representation of infinity. You are traveling toward infinity. You are traveling toward forever. The air conditioner kicks on with a low hum, a gentle breeze that cools the air and keeps it fresh. It smells of clean filters and cool metal. It is a sterile smell, a safe smell. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with the cool air. You hold it for a moment and then release it slowly, feeling your body sink deeper into the seat with the exhale. You are melting. You are dissolving. You are becoming part of the train. The vibration of the floor travels up your legs, into your spine, humming a low note that resonates in your skull. It is a lullaby sung by the earth itself. You close your eyes and listen. You can hear the whistle blowing in the distance, a lonely sound that drifts back to you on the wind. Ho, ho. It is saying goodbye to the miles behind you. It is saying hello to the miles ahead. You are suspended in between. You are in the now, and the now is peaceful. The now is quiet. The now is sleep. You drift deeper down past the level of dreams, past the level of thought, down into the deep, dark water of rest. You are a stone sinking in a deep lake. Slow, heavy, silent. The water closes over you. The silence wraps around you. You are safe. You are hidden. You are asleep. The train travels on, carrying your sleeping form across the continent, across the day, across the world. And you know nothing of it. You only know the peace. You only know the rest. The train continues rolling across the vast sunlit landscape where the heat of the day is beginning to rise, creating shimmering waves of air that dance above the asphalt roads and the metal roofs of distant barns. But inside the car you remain cool and protected a silent observer in a climate-controlled sanctuary. The sun is higher in the sky, now a bright white disk that bleaches the color out of the horizon, turning the blue sky into a pale, almost white canopy that stretches infinitely in every direction. The rhythm of the wheels is a fast, steady drumbeat, a tempo of efficiency that eats up the miles without effort. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a sound that signifies progress, a sound that tells you that you are moving forward even if you're doing absolutely nothing. You feel the gentle swaying of the car's side-to-side motion that is as comforting as a cradle rocking back and forth, back and forth. You let your head rest against the cool glass of the window for a moment, feeling the vibration of the train traveling through your skull, a low hum that drowns out the chatter of your own mind. You watch a long line of freight cars sitting on a siding waiting for their turn to move. They are rusty and brown and covered in graffiti colorful tags that look like ancient hieroglyphs in the bright sun. You wonder who painted them and when, but the thought is fleeting and lazy, and it dissolves as soon as the freight cars disappear behind you. The train crosses a wide concrete bridge over a highway where cars are speeding along like toy vehicles. You look down at them from your high perch, feeling a sense of superiority, not out of arrogance, but out of peace. They are rushing. You are gliding. They are driving. You are being carried. The landscape begins to change slightly, the flat plains giving way to gentle rolling foothills that rise up like sleeping giants covered in green velvet. The train slows down as it begins to ascend, the engine changing its pitch from a high whine to a deep throaty rumble that you can feel in the soles of your feet. You feel the seat pushing against your back, a gentle pressure that holds you secure. You are ascending. You are climbing. You are moving up into the fresher air. You see a small stream tumbling down the hillside, its water sparkling like diamonds in the sun, jumping over rocks and fallen logs. It looks cool and refreshing, a stark contrast to heat outside. You imagine dipping your toes into that water, feeling the shock of the cold, but you are warm and dry and comfortable right where you are. The train enters a tunnel cut through a hill, and the bright sunlight is instantly replaced by sudden darkness. The sound of the train changes instantly, becoming a loud, rushing roar that fills the cabin. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It is a cocoon of sound, a blanket of noise that wraps around you tight. You see the reflection of the interior lights in a window, the faces of sleeping passengers ghosting against the black rock walls outside. Then just as suddenly as it began, the tunnel ends and the light floods back in blindingly bright for a second before your eyes adjust. You are back in the green world, back in the sun. You feel a wave of tiredness wash over you, a heavy, warm feeling that starts in your chest and spreads out to your fingertips. Your hands feel huge and heavy, resting in your lap like they are made of stone. Your legs feel miles away, rooted to the floor. You are sinking deeper and deeper into the seat, which feels like it is made of clouds. You watch a hawk floating on the air currents high above the hills, circling slowly looking for prey. It barely moves its wings, just riding the wind. You feel like that hawk riding the rails, gliding effortlessly through the world. The train passes a small mountain town, a collection of wooden houses clinging to the side of the slope. You see a church with a white steeple pointing at the sky. You see a general store with a rocking chair on the porch. It is a picture of stillness, of a life lived at a slower pace. You feel a longing for that slowness, a desire to stop and sit and do nothing. And then you realize that is exactly what you are doing. You are stopping. You are sitting. You are doing nothing. And it is wonderful. The train moves on, leaving the town behind, climbing higher into the hills. The trees are changing now from deciduous to evergreen pines and firs that stand tall and dark against the green grass. The smell of pine enters the car, a sharp, clean scent that clears your mind. You take a deep breath, inhaling the mountain air. You exhale slowly, letting go of the last of your stress. You are empty. You are clean. You are at peace. The rhythm of the wheels is slower here as the train fights gravity. Clack, 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 clack. It is a laborious sound, but a steady one. It tells you that the train is strong, that it can carry you over any mountain. You trust the train. You trust the journey. You let your eyes close, listening to the deep rumble of the engine. It is a brown noise, a sound that masks everything else. It is a blanket of sound. You pull it up over your head. You snuggle down into it. You are safe. You are warm. You are sleeping. The miles roll by beneath you. The world turns around you. But you are still. You are the center of the quiet. You are the eye of the storm. Sleep. 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 The train crests the summit of the mountain pass where the air is thin and cold and the trees are sparse, allowing you to see for miles across the jagged peaks that stretch out to the horizon like waves in a frozen stone ocean. The engine quiets down its deep labor, turning into a soft idle as gravity takes over, and the train begins to slide effortlessly down the other side of the divide. You feel the shift in your body as subtle lightning, as the upward pull releases, and you settle back into a smooth glide. The sun is beginning its slow descent towards the west, casting longer shadows that stretch across the tracks and flicker through the windows like dark fingers trying to catch the moving train. The light inside the cabin shifts from the bright white of midday to a warmer golden hue that bathes everything in nostalgic glow, making the seats look softer and the dust motes dance slower. You watch a snow shed pass by a wooden structure built over the tracks to protect them from avalanches, and for a moment you are in a semi-dark tunnel, with beams spaced apart allowing flashes of sunlight to strobe through. Flash dark, flash dark, flash dark. It is a visual rhythm that matches the auditory rhythm of the wheels. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. The sound is faster now as the train gathers speed on the descent, a happy, energetic sound that carries you down towards a valley. You feel a popping sensation in your ears as the altitude decreases, a reminder of how high you have climbed and how far you've come. You swallow gently to clear them, and the sound of the train rushes back in clear and crisp. You look out at the pine forest that blanket the slopes, a carpet of deep green that seems endless and impenetrable. You spot a small logging road winding through the trees, a strip of brown dirt that looks like a scar on the green mountain. A single yellow truck is driving slowly up the road, kicking up a cloud of dust that hangs in the still air. You wonder where the driver is going and what his day has been like, but the thought is distant and unimportant. You are separate from his world. You are in the world of the train, the world of the seat, the world of rest. The train curves around a sharp bend, revealing a mountain lake far below, a jewel of sapphire blue water nestled in a bowl of gray rock. The water is perfectly still, reflecting the sky, and the mountains like a giant mirror. It looks cold and deep and silent. You imagine floating on that water, weightless and cool, staring up at the sky. The image makes you feel lighter inside, makes you feel like you are floating right there in your seat. Your head is heavy against the headrest, your neck muscles completely loose. Your eyes are half closed, watching the lake disappear behind a ridge of trees, replaced by the monotony of the forest again. Tree after tree after tree. It is a green wall that rushes by, a blur of nature that lulls you into a trance. You are not looking at individual trees. Anymore, you are looking at the texture of the forest, the movement of the green. It is soothing. It is boring. It is perfect. You feel the vibration of the tracks through the armrest, a subtle buzzing that travels up your arm and into your shoulder, relaxing the tension there. You take a deep breath, smelling the faint scent of diesel, and pine, a smell that belongs to the mountains and the railroad. It is a manly smell, a sturdy smell. The train crosses a high steel trestle over a deep gorge of ground, dropping away, suddenly leaving you suspended in the air. You look down and see the tops of trees hundreds of feet below and a tiny ribbon of white water at the very bottom. The sound of the train echoes loudly off the canyon walls, a roaring thunder that fills the valley. Roar, roar, roar. Then you are back on solid ground, the sound instantly muffled back to the comfortable click-clack. You feel a sense of relief, a sense of safety. The train is a fortress. Nothing can hurt you here. You pass a small station that has boarded up, its windows covered in plywood, its platform empty and overgrown with weeds. It is a ghost station, a relic of a time when this place was busier. Now it is just a marker on the line, a silent witness to your passing. You feel a gentle melancholy looking at it, but it is a sweet melancholy, a feeling of time passing slowly and peacefully. The afternoon light is getting richer, now turning the green trees to gold and the gray rocks to violet. The world is putting on its evening clothes, preparing for the night. But the night is still hours away. For now, there is only the golden hour, the time of long shadows and warm light. You feel the warmth of the sun on your legs, a gentle heat that makes your muscles feel like melting wax. You are melting into the floor. You are melting into the journey. The train enters a long, straight valley where the tracks run parallel to a winding river. The river is wide and slow here, moving lazily toward the ocean. You watch the water flow, keeping pace with the train. You are moving together, two forces of nature heading in the same direction. You see a fisherman standing waist deep in the water, casting a line in a graceful arc. He freezes as the train passes, watching you go by. You are blurred in a streak of silver and noise, but to you he is a statue, a moment frozen in time. You carry that image with you, the man and the river and the sun. It is a peaceful image, a quiet image. Your eyelids are fluttering now, fighting a losing battle against the heaviness. You want to close them. You want to give in. And so you do. You let them slide shut, sealing out the golden light, sealing out the world. Now, there is only the sound, the click-clack, the hum, the vibration. It is a symphony asleep. You are drifting down a river of sound. You are a leaf floating on the current. You are safe. You are held. You are asleep. The train moves into the deepening twilight, where the golden light of the afternoon slowly bleeds away into a soft purple bruise on the horizon, and the world begins to lose its sharp edges, blurring into the soft gray of early evening. The shadows stretch out across the fields longer and longer until they merge together, covering the earth in a blanket of dusk. You watch the colors of the landscape mute and fade, the vibrant green of the trees turning to a dark olive, the bright red of the barns turning to a rusty maroon. The sky above is a gradient of colors, starting with a deep indigo in the east and fading to a pale salmon in the west, where the sun has just dipped below the rim of the world. The first stars are beginning to appear, faint pinpricks of white light struggling against the lingering glow of the day. You feel a sense of ending, a sense of closure, as the day wraps up its business and prepares for the night. The rhythm of the train continues unchanged, a steady constant in a changing world. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It is a comforting reminder that while the day ends, the journey goes on. You see the lights coming on in the farmhouses passing by solitary yellow squares that look warm and inviting in the growing darkness. You imagine families sitting down to dinner, steam rising from plates, voices murmuring in conversation. You are a silent spectator to these domestic scenes, a ghost passing in the night. The train slows down as it passes through a small town where the streetlights have just flickered to life, casting pools of amber light on the empty sidewalks. You see a gas station with fluorescent lights buzzing, a bright island of white in the sea of gray. A lone car stands at the pump, its driver leaning against the hood, watching the train roll by. You feel a strained connection to him, two travelers pausing in the twilight. Then the town is gone, and you are back in the open country, where the darkness is gathering fast. The reflection of the interior of the car begins to appear in the window, again ghosting over the landscape outside. You see your own face reflected in the glass calm, and relaxed eyes heavy with sleep. You see the empty seats around you, the fabric looking soft and plush. You are looking at two worlds at once, the world inside and the world outside, and they are blending together in your mind. The air conditioner hums a low, steady note, a white noise that fills the silence between the click-clacks. It is cool and dry and smells of clean linen. You snuggle deeper into your coat, feeling the warmth of your own body trapped against the cool air. It is a cozy feeling, a feeling of being safe and protected. The train crosses a long causeway over a wetland area where the reeds stand tall and still in the black water. You can hear the change in sound of the wheels, a hollower, deeper sound that resonates in the floor. You look down and see the reflection of the moon, which has just risen, reflecting in the dark water like a silver coin. It is a beautiful silent image. Then you are back on solid ground, moving through a tunnel of trees and now just black shapes against the dark blue sky. The branches reach out towards the train, brushing against the sides with a soft swishing sound. Swish, swish, swish. It is a gentle sound, a whisper from the woods. You feel your eyelids getting heavier and heavier. It is a struggle to keep them open, and you realize that you do not need to struggle. You can just let go. You can just sleep. You let your eyes close, and the world fades away, leaving only the sound of the train. The click-clack becomes a heartbeat. The hum becomes a lullaby. You are drifting down a river of darkness. You are floating on a cloud of sound. You are safe. You are warm. You are moving. The train carries you on through the night, through the sleeping world, towards a destination that is far away. But for now, the journey is a destination. The sleep is a destination. You are at peace. You are at rest. You are asleep. The train pushes onward into the deepest part of the night, where the world outside has vanished completely, leaving only the reflection of the cabin interior staring back at you from the black mirror of the window. The silence of the landscape is profound, a heavy blanket that covers the fields and the forests and the sleeping towns. You are moving through a void, a tunnel of existence carved out by the headlight of the train. The rhythm of the wheels is the only clock that matters, ticking off the seconds in steel and stone. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a steady heartbeat that resonates with your own slowing pulse. You feel a deep sense of security knowing that you are contained within this moving vessel, protected from the cold and the dark. The air in the car is still and cool, circulating slowly with a faint hum that sounds like a whisper in a library. You can smell the scent of old paper and fabric, a dry, dusty smell that is comforting and familiar. You settle deeper into your seat, your body feeling heavy and leaden, as if gravity has increased just for you. Your legs are stretched out in front of you, your feet resting on the footrest, your toes relaxed and still. Your hands are folded in your lap, your fingers loose and warm. Your head is resting back against the pillow, your neck muscles completely slack. You are not holding yourself up anymore. The seat is doing all the work. You are just a passenger, a passive observer of the night. The train begins to slow down as it approaches a series of junctions, the wheels clattering over the switches with a complex syncopated rhythm. Clack, clack, click, clack, thud, thud. It is a brief interruption in the steady beat, a moment of texture in the smoothness of the journey. You look out the window and see the lights of a rail yard drifting by tall towers with floodlights that cast harsh pools of white light on the gravel and the tracks. You see lines of freight cars sitting silent and still, boxcars and tankers and flatbeds waiting for their turn to move. They look like sleeping giants, dark and heavy. You pass a small shanty where a worker sits reading a newspaper under a bare bulb. He does not look up as you pass. He is part of the night part of the railroad. Then the yard is behind you, and the darkness returns absolute and total. The train picks up speed again, the rhythm smoothing out to a fast, steady drone. You feel the vibration, the floor, a gentle buzzing that travels up your legs and soothes your tired muscles. It is a massage from the machine, a physical lullaby. You drift deeper into a fog of sleep, where thoughts lose their shape and become feelings. You feel a sense of nostalgia for a place you have never been, a longing for a home you do not know. It is a sweet feeling, a gentle ache that makes you feel alive. The train crosses a long bridge over a dark river, the sound changing to a deep hollow roar. You look down and see the water flowing silently below, reflecting the few stars that have managed to pierce the clouds. It looks cold and deep and peaceful. You imagine being a leaf floating on that water, carried along by the current with no effort and no destination. You are that leaf. You are floating on the river of the night. The bridge ends and you are back on the solid ground, moving through a tunnel of trees. The branches brush against the train with a soft swishing sound, like a broom sweeping the floor. Swish, swish, swish. It is a cleaning sound, clearing away the dust of the day, clearing away the noise of the world. You feel your eyelids fluttering, trying to stay open, but they are too heavy. You let them close, and the relief is instant. The visual world disappears, leaving only the world of sound and sensation. You hear the creak of the car as it sways gently side to side. You hear the hum of the air conditioner. You hear the rhythmic beat of the wheels. It is a symphony of sleep. You are drifting down, down, down into the velvet darkness. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The train travels on, carry you across the sleeping continent, through the small towns and the big cities, through the fields and the forests. It never stops, it never tires. It is the guardian of your rest. You surrender to it completely. You trust the journey. You trust the sleep. The train moves forward into a wall of soft rain that has descended upon the landscape, turning the world outside into a blurred watercolor painting of gray and black, where nothing is distinct and everything is wet. You can hear the rain drumming gently against the metal roof of the car, a soft tapping sound that mixes with the steady rhythm of the wheels to create a natural white noise that is incredibly soothing to your tired mind. Tap, 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 click, clack, click, clack. It is a duet performed by the weather and the machine, a song of travel and rest. You watch the water droplets hit the window pane and streak backwards, horizontally driven by the speed of the train. They look like tiny shooting stars made of liquid silver, racing across the black glass before disappearing into the night. You feel a deep sense of coziness being inside this dry, warm bubble, while the elements wash over the world outside. The air in the car feels slightly humid now, carrying the scent of rain and wet earth that has managed to seep into the ventilation system. It is a fresh, clean smell, a smell of renewal. You pull your blanket tighter around your shoulders, enjoying the feeling of being wrapped up and protected. Your body sinks deeper into the seat, which feels like a soft embrace holding you up and supporting every muscle. Your legs are heavy and relax, your feet resting comfortably on the floor. Your arms are limp, your hands resting open in your lap. You are completely at ease. The train slows down slightly as it passes through a small sleeping town. You see the wet pavement of the streets reflecting the yellow glow of the streetlights, creating pools of liquid gold on the ground. You see a diner that is closed for the night, its neon sign turned off, but a single light burning in the kitchen, where perhaps a baker is starting the morning bread. You imagine the smell of warm dough and coffee filling the air, and it makes you feel warm inside. You see a traffic light blinking red at an empty intersection stop. Stop, stop, but the train does not stop. It glides through the town like a phantom, silent and smooth, leaving the sleeping houses behind. The town fades back into the rainy darkness, and you are alone again with the rhythm of the rails. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. The sound is hypnotic. It repeats over and over again, never changing, never faltering. It is a constant you can rely on. You let your mind drift away from the present moment, floating on the sound. You are not thinking about yesterday. You are not thinking about tomorrow. You are just here. Now. Safe. The train crosses a bridge over a swollen river, the water high and dark rushing below. You hear the deep, hollow roar of the bridge vibration that you feel in your chest. It is a powerful sound, a sound of strength. Then you are back on the solid ground, the rhythm returning to its higher pitch. You pass a forest where the trees are dripping with rain, their branches heavy and bowed. You can't see them clearly, just dark shapes that block out the sky. You feel a sense of solitude, a feeling of being the only person awake in the world. But you are not really awake. You are in the twilight zone, between waking and sleeping. Your eyes are heavy, so heavy. You blink slowly, fighting the weight of your eyelids. Every blink takes a little longer. Every time you close your eyes, it feels so good to keep them closed. You decide to stop fighting. You let your eyes close and the world disappears. Now there is only the sound, the rain, the wheels, the hum. It is a symphony of peace. You are drifting down a river of sleep. You are floating on a cloud of relaxation. The train carries you on mile after mile, through the rain, through the night, through the quiet. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The journey continues, but you are resting. You are healing. You are at peace. The train continues its steady march through the rainy night, where the drops streak horizontally across the glass like tiny comets, and the world outside is reduced to a blur of wet gray and black. The rhythm of the wheels is a constant reassuring presence, a steady drumbeat that anchors you to the present moment, while your mind drifts further and further away into the soft haze of sleep. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a sound that demands nothing from you, a sound that simply says, we are moving, we are safe, we are going. You snuggle deeper into the warmth of your seat, pulling your coat or blanket up around your chin and feeling the contrast between the cozy, dry air inside the car and the cold, wet world outside. The air conditioner hums a low, steady note, a white noise that masks the sound of the rain and wraps you in a cocoon of silence. You watch a drop of water on the window pane as it wiggles and slides backward, pushed by the wind, until it joins a stream and disappears. It is a small drama played out just for you, a moment of focus that allows your eyes to grow heavy and tired. You are not looking for anything specific out there in the dark. You are just watching the textures of the night pass by. You pass a small rural crossing where the red lights are flashing, reflecting on the wet pavement of the road. Ding, 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 ding. The sound of the bells is faint, muffled by the glass, and the rain a distant memory of a sound. You see a single truck stopped at the crossing, its headlights cutting through the rain, illuminating the falling water like sparks. The driver is just a silhouette, a shadow, waiting in the night. Then the crossing is gone, and you are back in the blackness of the open fields. You feel the gentle sway of the car as it navigates a long, slow curve. You lean into the turn, feeling the soft pressure of the seat against your side, a feeling of being held and supported. Your body is heavy, so heavy. Your legs feel like they are sinking into the floor. Your arms are resting limp in your lap. Your head is supported by the pillow, and your neck muscles have completely let go. You are a rag doll of relaxation. The train crosses a trestle bridge over a dark, swollen creek. The sound of the wheels changes to a deep, hollow roar that vibrates in your chest. Thrum, thrum, thrum. It is a powerful sound, a sound of strength and stability. You feel safe knowing that the train is heavy and solid and true. Then the bridge is behind you, and the rhythm returns to its higher-pitched click-clack. You take a deep, slow breath, filling your lungs with the cool air. You exhale slowly, letting the last bit of tension leave your body with the breath. You are empty of worry. You are empty of stress. You are just a vessel for peace. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the rain tapping against the roof. Tap, 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 tap. It is a gentle sound, a lullaby from the sky. You imagine the rain falling on the fields, falling on the trees, falling on the roofs of the sleeping houses. It washes everything clean. It settles the dust. It brings quiet to the world. You drift deeper down into darkness behind your eyes. You see soft shapes moving and changing colors, swirling like oil on water. You're entering the dream state, the place where thoughts become fluid and nonsensical. You see a house you lived in as a child. You see a face you haven't thought of in years. You see a landscape that doesn't exist. They float by like clouds, and you let them go. You do not hold on to anything. You are just floating. The train slows down slightly as it passes through a small rail yard. You hear the clatter of the wheels over the switches, a complex rhythm that breaks the monotony for a second. Click, clack, thud. You see lines of freight cars sitting on the side tracks, wet and shiny in the rain. They look like sleeping beasts huddled together for warmth. You see a signal tower with a green light glowing steadily in the mist. It is a beacon of safety, a sign that the way ahead is clear. The train picks up speed again, leaving the yard behind and returning to the open country. The steady drone resumes. You feel the vibration in the floor, a gentle massage for your tired feet. You are sinking into the seat, sinking into the floor, sinking into the earth. The train travels on mile after mile, through the rain, through the night. You are part of the train now. You are part of the motion. You are part of the sleep. The world is far away. The morning is far away. There is only this. The sound, the dark, the peace. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The train continues to slice through the rainy darkness, moving with determination that is both powerful and gentle, cutting a path through the storm, while you remain suspended in a state of perfect stillness inside. The rain has settled into a steady rhythm against the window pane, a soft drumming sound that fluctuates slightly with the wind, but never stops completely, creating a curtain of water that separates you from the world. You watch the droplets accumulate on the glass, merging into larger streams that wiggle and slide backward, fighting the airflow until they are swept away into the night. It is a mesmerizing dance of physics and nature that captures your attention without demanding any focus, allowing your mind to go blank and just observe. The sound of the wheels is slightly muffled by the wet tracks, a softer hiss and hum that replaces the sharp click-clack of the dry rails. It is a sound like a giant breathing steadily and deeply, calming your own breath until it matches the slow cadence of the machine. You are warm and dry, protected by layers of steel and glass and upholstery. You feel a deep appreciation for this shelter, for the simple luxury of being dry while the world outside is wet. Your body feels heavy, sinking further into the seat, as if gravity has doubled its pull on your limbs. Your legs are like lead weights anchored to the floor, immobile and relaxed. Your arms are heavy ropes resting in your lap. Your head is a heavy stone resting on the soft pillow. You do not want to move. You do not need to move. You are completely passive. The train passes a small depot in the middle of nowhere, a tiny building with a peaked roof and a single light bulb burning under the eaves. You see a figure standing there in a yellow raincoat, watching the train pass, a solitary soul in the wet night. You wonder who they are and where they are going, but the train sweeps you past them before you can form a story, leaving them behind in the mist. You feel a fleeting connection to that stranger, a shared moment of existence in the rain. The train curves gently to the left, and you feel the subtle shift in your weight leaning into the armrest. It is a comforting sensation, a feeling of being held. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the sounds of the journey, the creak of the carriage, the hum of the ventilation, the patter of the rain, the rhythm of the wheels. It is a symphony of gray noise, a soundscape of sleep. You drift deeper into the twilight state between waking and sleeping, where thoughts lose their edges and blend together. You see colors behind your eyelids, soft blues and grays that swirl and fade. You are floating on a dark ocean. You are drifting on a cloud. The train crosses a long, low bridge over a marshland where the water is rising. You hear the change in the sound, a deeper resonance that vibrates through the floor. You feel the vibration in your bones, a low hum that soothes your nervous system. Then the bridge is gone, and you are back on the solid ground, the sound returning to its steady hush. You pass a row of streetlights that mark the edge of a sleeping town. The lights are blurred by the rain, looking like glowing orange balls of fuzz floating in the dark. They pass by one in a rhythmic procession. Orange, dark, orange, dark, orange, dark. It is hypnotic. It is tiring your eyes. You let them close again, and this time you keep them closed. You surrender to the darkness. You surrender to the sleep. The train travels on mile after mile, through the rain, through the night. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The world turns slowly. The train moves steadily. And you are at peace. You are resting deep within the movement, carried by the momentum of the journey toward a morning that is still hours away. The train moves deeper into the night, cutting through a narrow valley where the hills rise up steeply on both sides, covered in dense dark forests that seem to lean in towards the tracks. The rain has intensified slightly, turning into a steady downpour that washes over the train in waves. You can hear the change in the sound as the water hits the roof louder, now a persistent drumming that drowns out the wind. Thrum, 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 thrum. It is a heavy, comforting sound like being inside a tent during a storm, but much safer and warmer. You watch the water streaming down the window pane in thick sheets, blurring the world outside, so completely that you can't see the trees anymore, just a wall of dark gray. It feels like you are traveling underwater, like you are in a submarine navigating the depths of the ocean. The air inside the car is cool and still and smells faintly of damp wool, and ozone a smell that reminds you of stormy nights from your childhood. You pull your blanket up to your chin, burying your face in the soft fabric, feeling the warmth of your breath reflecting back against your skin. Your body feels incredibly heavy, as if the gravity of the earth has focused entirely on you, pulling you down into the soft embrace of the seat. Your legs are leaden, and still your arms are dead weight in your lap. Your head is a heavy stone on the pillow. You could not move if you wanted to, and the best part is that you do not want to. You are perfectly content to lie here and be carried. The train slows down as it navigates a winding section of track that follows the curve of a rushing river. You can feel the train leaning into the turns, banking left then right then left again. It is a gentle rocking motion that lulls you deeper into a trance. Sway, 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 sway. It is the motion of a mother rocking a cradle. It is the motion of the tides. You let your breathing sink with the swaying, inhaling as you tilt left, exhaling as you tilt right. In, out. In, out. You are one with the train, one with the river, one with the night. The train passes a small hydroelectric dam illuminated by floodlights. You see the water cascading over the spillway, a wall of white foam, crashing down into the darkness below. It looks powerful and chaotic, but you are safe behind your glass wall, watching it like a silent movie. Then the dam is gone, and the darkness returns. You pass a lonely road that runs alongside the tracks for a few miles. There are no cars, just a wet asphalt shining in the faint light of the train. You wonder where the road goes and who travels it in this weather, but it is an idle thought that floats away before you can answer it. The train picks up speed again as the track straightens out. The rhythm of the wheels quickens to a steady, fast beat. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is a sound of purpose, a sound of distance being covered. You feel a vibration in the armrest, a subtle buzzing that travels up your arm and relaxes your shoulder muscles. You let your head roll to the side so your cheek is resting against the cool plastic of the window frame. You can feel the cold of the rain seeping through the wall, a refreshing chill that contrasts with the warmth of your body. You close your eyes and listen to the rain. It sounds like thousands of tiny fingers tapping on the roof. Tap, 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 tap. It is a busy sound, but a restful one. It tells you that the world is being washed clean. It tells you that everything is resting. You drift deeper down into the darkness behind your eyes. You see shapes moving in the dark swirls of gray and blue that form and dissolve. You are entering the dream state. You see a field of wheat waving in the wind. You see a boat floating on a calm lake. You see a cloud drifting across the moon. They are peaceful images, slow images. You let them wash over you. You do not try to control them. You just watch. The train crosses a high steel trestle over a deep gorge. The sound of the wheels echoes loudly off the canyon walls, a booming roar. that fills the night. Roar, roar, roar. It is a sound of power. Then you are back on the solid ground of sound, muffled again by the trees. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for the train, for its strength, for its persistence. It carries you while you sleep. It protects you while you dream. You surrender to it completely. You let go of the last bit of tension in your jaw. You let go of the last bit of tension in your hands. You are completely limp. You are completely relaxed. You are asleep. The train travels on through the rain, through the valley, through the night. The miles roll by unnoticed. The hours roll by unnoticed. You are safe. You are warm. You are at peace. The train moves relentlessly forward to the shroud of rain that wraps the world in a wet gray blanket, cutting a path through the storm with a single beam of light that pierces the darkness ahead, but reveals nothing but falling water and steel rails. The sound of the rain has settled into a steady drone of white noise that blankets the landscape and muffles the rhythmic clatter of the wheels, turning the journey into a hush of motion and sound. You are cocooned inside the warmth of the carriage, protected from the elements by layers of glass and metal, feeling the contrast between the cold, wet night outside and the dry, cozy air inside. The seat holds you firmly, comfortably, molding to your shape as if it were made just for you, and you sink deeper into its embrace, letting go of the weight of your body. Your legs are heavy and still, your feet resting on the floor, your arms loose in your lap, your head supported by the pillow. You watch the water streak across the window pane driven by the wind, creating abstract patterns that shift and change with every second. It is a mesmerizing display of fluid dynamics, a silent movie of nature played out on the glass. You feel the vibration of the train traveling up to the floor, a gentle buzzing that relaxes the muscles in your calves and thighs. It is a massage that never ends, a physical sensation of the journey. The train slows down slightly as it approaches a small rural, crossing the bell, clanging softly in the distance, ding, 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 barely audible over the sound of the rain. You see the red lights flashing, reflecting on the wet asphalt of the road, creating pools of blood-red light in the darkness. A single car sits at the crossing, its wipers slapping back and forth rhythmically, slap, 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 waiting for the train to pass. You wonder who is in the car and where they're going at this hour, but the thought is fleeting and it drifts away like smoke in the wind. The train accelerates again, leaving the crossing behind and returning to the open fields where the darkness is absolute. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the symphony of the train, the hum of the engine, the rattle of the carriage, the patter of the rain. It is a complex, layered sound that is incredibly soothing. You drift deeper into the space between wakefulness and sleep, where thoughts lose their coherence and become dreamlike images. You see a field of tall grass waving in the wind. You see a boat bobbing on a gentle sea. You see a bird gliding on an updraft. They are peaceful images, slow and silent. You let them wash over you. You do not try to hold on to them. You just watch them pass. The train crosses a long, low trestle over a marshy area where the water stands stagnant and black among the reeds. The sound of the wheels changes to a deep, hollow rumble that vibrates in your chest. Thrum, thrum, thrum. It is a sound of solidity, a sound of strength. Then the bridge is gone and you are back on the solid ground of rhythm, returning to its higher pitch. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. You take a deep breath, inhaling the cool air that smells of damp earth and ozone. It is a fresh, clean smell that clears your mind. You exhale, slowly releasing the last of your tension. You are empty. You are clean. You are at peace. You feel a heaviness in your eyelids that is impossible to resist. They droop and close, sealing out the world. Now there's only the sound, the rhythm, the motion. You are drifting down a river of sleep. You are floating on a cloud of relaxation. The train carries you on mile after mile, through the rain, through the night. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The world turns slowly beneath you. The miles roll by behind you, and you are resting. You are healing. You are at peace. The train enters a tunnel of trees, the branches reaching out to brush against the roof with a soft, swishing sound. Swish, swish, swish. It is a gentle sound like a whisper. It tells you to hush. It tells you to sleep. You drift deeper down into the velvet darkness. You are safe. You are warm. You are asleep. The train begins to slow its pace just slightly as the rain softens, turning from a steady drumbeat into a gentle hush mist that coats the world in silence. The heavy clouds above begin to part, revealing a single bright star that watches over you like a guardian in the night. The rhythm of the wheels transforms into a slow, steady heartbeat, a deep and resonant thud. 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 That matches the slow rhythm of your own breathing. You feel the final traces of the waking world dissolving, washing away with the rain, leaving you pure and light and free. The seat holds you in a warm embrace, a perfect cradle that supports you completely, allowing you to let go of every last ounce of tension. Your body is heavy, so wonderfully heavy, sinking down into the softest depths of relaxation. You are no longer watching the window. You are no longer listening for the whistle. You are simply floating on a river of peace that flows toward the ocean of dreams. The train continues on, guiding you safely through the night, but you are no longer a traveler, you are the stillness itself. The sound fades to a whisper. The motion fades to a memory. You are safe. You are warm. You are deeply, deeply asleep. Good night.